no more room in hell.
The dead will start a podcast.
Well, I would like to know whether this killer removed any body parts or sexually defiled any orifice of our victim. I want to know, because if he didn't, I'm starting to think this loser deserves a thumbs down.
That was one of me. I'm the killer. I'm gonna call 911. What's the number? Hello, everybody, and welcome to No More Room in Hell number 72. This is Mike, and with me, as always, it's Mr. Venom. What's up, Venom?
Greetings and salutations, 90s babies. I am not one of you, but I welcome you nonetheless. How the fuck you doing, Mike?
I am also not one of them, but more on that soon. Also with us, it's Derek. What's up, Derek?
Hey, yo. The Razor's here.
Razor Ramon.
Yeah, you fucking tough guy. I'll fucking
Wrong
kill
show.
you. It crosses over. Come on, man.
All right. And also joining us, a couple that it seemed like they've been our guests for the last 2.5 months, because that's about how long we've been waiting to record this episode due to just various life things. But finally, it's happening. They're here with us. Welcome back to the show, Dan and Lacy. What's up?
Go.
Go, go, Buffalo.
Well, not in this past postseason.
Well, no, it's a quote from Idle Hands.
Yes, Idle Hands. One of the movies we'll be talking about tonight, which I thought it was going to be across the board, the opinion on, but apparently not. But we'll save that
Hey,
for when
and
we get
you know what? Nobody on this podcast is actually a 90s baby, but I am a 90s kid, and I think there's something to be said about that.
Yeah.
You are 80s, baby. You in Sean Clutches with jeans on.
Go, ninja. Go, ninja. Go.
Yeah, I always thought that topic was kind of like interesting, how you actually like consider what decade shaped you, because like even though I was born in 80, but I don't really think the majority of the 80s shaped me because I was still too young. I would say it's like late 80s through the 90s is more what shaped like my interests and likes and all that. But we
Like,
can talk
what year
about
did
that.
you graduate high school, Mike?
98.
Oh, so I said late 80s, late 90s.
Yeah, so like that's why like I kind of have like an affinity for like teen movies anywhere from like 94 through like
Yo,
2000,
yo,
because
Mike
it's
was
kind of
fucking
like right in
Elijah
my
Wood in
era.
the faculty in fucking when he was in high school.
Yeah. Maybe. I know, maybe a couple elements of him, but not
In
quite.
98, I think I was in the fourth grade.
Fourth grade. Okay,
Fourth
yeah.
grade.
So like Idle Hands, Can't Hardly Wait, Faculty, I guess you could throw Disturbing Behavior, like all that era, it feels like it was made for like, my age group as I was exiting the high school years. So I can relate to that era more than 80s, even though I was born in the 80s. But yeah, we can expand on that later. How are you guys doing though? What's going on? Dan, you're celebrating a birthday weekend. Well, I guess the both of you are celebrating a birthday weekend, correct? And how else would you want to end it by recording a podcast, right?
Just fucking end it with a bang. Yeah, dude. I got a sick fucking vinyl collection now, which is awesome. And that just fucking blew up and started recently. So that's kind of my deal. I've been doing that and got a bunch of cool fucking gifts. And I got Lacy Lou, so that's kind of the best gift, if you know what I'm saying. So my birthday is fucking fantastic. Thank you. Thank you for asking. It was a good weekend.
Yeah, I saw your I think you did like a video of putting on a record, and it reminded me like the past two, I think, Christmases I've
Mm.
considered buying a vinyl player. And then like I keep talking myself out of it because I'm like, oh great, there's another thing I'm going to start collecting if I just buy one, right?
Right. Right.
I'm gonna eventually do it, but
He's
I don't
already
know.
addicted.
I'm not surprised because when I go to like collectible shops, they usually all have huge record collections, and I go, I'm browsing through them with like so many potential that I would want to have if I actually had a
Right.
vinyl player to play them on.
Yeah. Dude, that's me my whole life, right? So I've always been like a record collector. I just don't collect records. Does that make any sense? So like
Yeah.
I know who the fuck I am and like I just could not wait to get one. So finally Lacy Lou fucking dropped the needle, so to speak, on that one. And
Aw. Well,
and
no, the thing is, he's
yeah.
always like, here, whatever band it is just dropped a new album, and then he sits there and listens to the whole album. But like the technology that we are in today with, like Spotify or YouTube, it's just like one song you play and then it goes to a different artist. I know that Dan has always been, very partial to albums because it tells a story. And I just think that's really cool. So that's why I wanted to do that for him for Valentine's Day. Because he loves like albums because it is like a cohesive collection, so to speak.
Fuck yeah.
Venom,
Yeah.
are you a vinyl listener?
The only vinyl I own is movie soundtracks. I have about
Mm.
350 movie soundtracks on vinyl.
Oh, he goes, he like, I love how you started out so small. The
It's
only thing
small.
I listen to is
Very humble.
movie soundtracks, but I have 300 and
Yeah.
fucking 50 of them.
Very
Big wall
casual
cupboard.
collection going on there.
I'm very similar to Dan in the sense that I prefer listening to whole albums, but I just buy them digitally. So I mean,
Right.
I still use Spotify, Pandora, Apple, whatever the fuck is available, but I'll buy the whole album and just listen to it beginning to end. I don't do the
Yeah.
whole, mix thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're just like trying to focus on like simpler times because like the world is so crazy. So like just even like touching my phone feels like very like I'm not connected. You know what I mean? So I feel like with a record player, like you feel more connected and in the moment. Does that make sense at all to anybody?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Retro is very marketable. I was just watching a YouTube video today that said that the sales of audio cassettes went up 17% in
Mm.
2026 or 2025,
Nice.
excuse me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cassettes are making a comeback.
Don't
Yeah.
call
And
it a comeback.
a lot of people were checking those out when I was looking at the records too. Like a lot of the cassettes were going, and it was kind of bare. And I
Mhm.
was like, "That's interesting too." But yeah, but what Lacey was saying, and just in terms of like simplifying things, because we got everything. We all know, we're all on the same movie accounts and all that kind of stuff. We have access to anything at our fingertips at all times. But there is something to be said about dialing it back. And, I got all these records that I kind of grew up with now. Nikki and A-Dog got me No Doubt, and they got me Linkin Park and Bob Marley. So I'm just over the moon, man. I'm pumped about it.
Well, I
Yeah,
wanted to know what Venom's favorite soundtrack vinyl is that
Oh,
he
yeah.
has.
Ooh, that's a tough one. I'm partial to The Exorcist. I'm
No.
partial to the
Is it the
first.
score or
Yes, the score.
okay?
These are all
Yeah.
scores. No
Oh,
soundtracks.
Soundtracks.
Oh yeah, these
the
are scores.
oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
yeah. I got Dan the first four Scream scores,
Mhm.
Marco
four
Bel
scores
Nice.
in 7 years
Yeah.
ago.
Marco
But
Beltrami represent.
oh, he's
Yep.
back, guys. He's back.
Yep.
But yeah, so The Exorcist and what else? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
That's amazing.
Exorcist, the first Hellraiser is a favorite. And then
Oh.
as far as modern films go, the score for Hereditary is fucking masterful.
Oh,
Colin
nice.
Stetson is an absolute master. That is my favorite horror movie score of the last 25 years.
No shit.
Yep.
Nice.
It's amazing.
No, I'm glad you actually just mentioned Hereditary because like Lee McCoy had made a post about James McAvoy getting like an Oscar snub for Split. And as much as I love the fact that horror is being represented in 2025 or slash 2026, it's the most horror films I think that have ever been nominated in a single year. But like, is Aunt Gladys really better than Toni Collette in Hereditary? Like, you know what I mean? Like, make it make sense, folks. There's
I
so
don't
many
think so.
snubs. There's
I'm
so
gonna
many
say
snubs.
I'm gonna say that Toni Collette's performance was a much more emotional performance, a much more grounded performance, something that really tugs at the heartstrings. But Aunt Gladys, I mean, because Aunt Gladys and Amy Madigan have literally zero in common. Like, that's fucking acting right there. When you can pull off Aunt Gladys and not be a crazy psycho bitch in real life, that's some fucking acting. I still would give the nod to Toni Collette, though.
I mean, I'm not
Yeah.
taking anything away from her performance at all. I'm just saying
No,
that like everybody is like so gun ho, but like we have to think about like why is this happening now when there were so many other powerful performances? Do you know what I mean? Like it's an interesting
It's
thing to
always a
think
matter
about.
it's always a matter of the strength of the year too. I mean, if we get a lot of Oscar worthy dramas come out in one year, they're going to dominate the nominations. Now, maybe in 2025 we didn't have as many, which is why Sinners is sitting on 16 nominations right now.
Do you
Who
guys think it's
knows?
deserving of that many nominations? Let's be honest.
Yes, 100%. It should have gotten 27 nominations.
27 nominations.
I mean, some of them, like anything music related for sure, but like,
Dude, costume design, set design,
yeah,
hair design,
all that
like
stuff, yes.
everything
I don't think it's as
masterful.
good as the other best pictures, so not to me. But that's
Oh.
fine.
Well, hmm
I mean, like it's
hmm
okay to like disagree. Like I love the topic. You know what I mean? Like I really love Sinners. I just think that there were other films in prior years and like I agree with you Venom that it was a weak year for overall films and that's why I feel like it's being recognized, but I also feel like 2025 was a weak year overall in my opinion.
I
Yeah, we
mean,
had this conversation on the the top 10 show. I try not to say things like that because I look at my list every year. I have anywhere from 100 to 140 movies that I watched, and I always find gems in there. Yeah, not every year can be 2018. I understand that, but there's always gems out there. I adore my top 10 this year. I think every movie on my top 10 was spectacular. So I don't like to say things like it was a weak year in horror, especially when I'm not a fucking horror filmmaker. So what the fuck do I know?
you
yeah,
know a lot more than a lot of people,
I got
Venom.
no problem saying
I'm
it.
a horror movie watcher, so what I'm consuming is my time and my time is valuable. So,
Well, everyone's time is valuable to them, absolutely. But
so I
I
feel like
don't.
everybody should have like, an opinion.
Oh, of course. Oh, I'm not trying to invalidate anyone's opinion, not by any stretch. I'm just saying what I do. I will never call a horror year weak. I will never do it because if you dig deep, you will find those gems. We're not going to get a Hereditary or a Lighthouse or a Midsommar every fucking year. Some years it's going to be Long Legs, some years it's going to be The Sadness. But the point is, if you dig deep, you find quality movies every year.
Yeah.
To me it's more based on your criteria because like I think there's been years where like a top 10 list can be top heavy where like let's say your top 3 you think are like just amazing and then after that it's like okay these were like the next best ones where other years you like all your top 10 but the top 3 don't even touch like the top 3 of other years.
Right.
There's combinations of that. There's years where you think overall it was a good year, but it's missing like the home runs at the top.
Apples and oranges, man.
So it's everyone's criteria what you consider good versus weaker versus down. I really don't mind
I was down with the
calling
Irish
something a down
vampire
year.
movie.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean also with the when it comes to best picture, the Oscars, ever since they expanded the field to 10, it's kind of changed things because if it was still like 5, I think it used to be 5 and maybe they went to 6 before 10 or maybe don't they, maybe they do it by discretion like not every year necessarily 10 get nominated but like the fact that I think there's like about 10 this year I don't mind Sinners being
Hell, if I
among
was in
them.
control of the Oscars, Willem Dafoe would just win every year, though.
But
You
it's
know what I
also
mean?
right. I don't think it's so much about like what movies should win or not. I think when we all get together and talk, it's why they chose what won or what didn't. Do you see what I'm saying? So like I don't think that really matters. It's more of like why would they choose that? Because you have to compare them to other years. And I think the topic with Sinners is, well, okay, yeah, that is a lot, but like how come movies like this didn't get it before? Let's talk about the elephant in the room. What? Oh, nobody's gonna. Okay, shut the fuck up then. Because if nobody's willing to talk about the elephant in the room and you're trying to overcompensate for past years, well then fine. But if you're not willing to talk about that, well then we're not even going to have this conversation, because then you're talking about, well, the cinematography was great. Well, this was great. Yeah, it was great before then too. Why is it have 18 nominations now? See what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Same
I
reason why
mean,
Black Panther had 19
And Black
nominations.
Panther was not a good movie,
Oh,
Yeah, I know.
Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Come on.
dude. And like, and
Holy shit. That is
Sinners
Wow.
that is the
is a good
fucking
movie.
best Marvel movie. It is the most emotional Marvel movie. It is the most impactful Marvel movie when you really think about everything coming out of Wakanda
I
and
know,
how
I
it
liked it when I
affects.
saw it in the 90s when I saw The Lion King, bro.
Oh,
I,
Jesus, what
I
the
like
fuck?
I like my Lion King like that. But then look what they did with Black Panther after, and how much they disgraced that movie and how much they really care. Ryan Coogler is a G. I will give him that. But does it deserve an Oscar? Hell no.
Yes.
No Marvel movie deserves an Oscar, in my opinion.
I completely disagree.
I know you do.
I mean, a good movie is a good movie. It doesn't matter if it's Marvel, A24, Sony, fucking Japanese, for all I care. A good movie is a good movie. And
Right, and I just didn't think it was a good movie.
there have been some incredible Marvel movies.
Like I said, Willem Dafoe would have got an Oscar for Spider-Man No Way Home if I was in charge.
That's see, and that's
Adam.
what I'm talking about, and that what's what I would sign up for. That or Alfred Molina. That in that movie, his fucking arc. Come on, but nobody talks about that. Let's just talk about
Attaboy.
fucking Michael B. Jordan and his twin, because the times.
It's Jim Crow,
yeah,
motherfucker.
Holy shit.
Well, I mean,
Wow.
I like Sinners, and I do think it deserves, the Oscar nom, for sure. So moving on, guys.
Wow, that was a great like burning topic, man.
yeah. I
That
mean,
was
the way I
great.
was finishing it was that I don't mind it being nominated. Do I think it's the best of the year compared to the other nominations? No, but oh well. I mean,
But they have to overcompensate. They
yeah,
got time to make up for.
I like watching award shows, not necessarily caring who wins, but I will root for horror because it seems like it's rare that it gets
Right.
nominated or recognized even, I would say. So like
Mm.
last year I was rooting for The Substance just because but I actually did think it was like good, and Demi Moore's performance was better than the actual
Well,
winner.
I
But
Don't
feel
you
like,
think though a lot of
I feel
people
like
just said the
bring her
substance is
back.
good?
The aunt or whatever she was in that movie was better than Anne Gladys.
Oh, the
Like,
chick
I don't
from
Oh
Shape of
God.
Water.
No, she was
yeah.
not. She had
I
no conviction at all. She turned
oh
into a
man.
wishy-washy little bitch by the end of the movie.
Who the
Oh,
fuck is Aunt Gladys?
weapons.
Oh my
Weapons.
god, the worst movie of the fucking year. Why are we even talking
Oh
about that?
Jesus. Here we
I,
That
go
I
is the
It
again.
was
that is the worst
nominated.
portrayal of
I
a
think
fucking horror villain ever, and then they want to say they want to give us a prequel for it. That is the laziest, most disgusting shit ever. Get that shit out of here. When's Scream 7 coming?
That movie needed
Oh
more
yeah, because
zombie.
Scream 7 is gonna be that much fucking better. What?
Thank you for
I'm
saying
gonna
that.
start calling
I'm
Dan
glad
Willis. For
somebody
this episode,
agrees.
I'm calling Dan Willis. That's it.
I'm
wait,
glad
wait,
somebody agrees with me.
hold on
Good
because
lord.
I appreciate Lacey trying to push us to the next topic because I actually was next going to ask about that you guys are you might be finished with it now, but you were in like the middle of like a screamathon to kind of lead up to seven. Have you completed that? And do you have a new
Absolutely.
ranking of the franchise?
Lacey Lou.
Yeah, we so the I don't know when this episode's gonna release, but yeah, so right now we are 4 days away from Scream 7 popping out. And so the Saturday before we did Screamathon Saturday where we binge watched all six films. And I don't know if it was like like I was trying to get more insight into where my opinion was going to lie, or theories or anything. I don't know if it changed anything, but it is definitely interesting to watch them all back to back to back to back to back. And I will say, from starting from one to six, even though like we changed directions for five and six a little bit, it all does feel very cohesive. I've never watched them all one through six. It was a 12-hour period of times where we watched all six films. So that was really cool to do for the first time. I mean, obviously I've seen them all multiple times, but it was really cool to watch them all back to back to back, and it does feel very cohesive. It didn't feel like anything was like off mark. Obviously tonally some of them are a bit different than the other ones, but
Force
I had a
Ghost
really
Billy
great
Loomis.
I would actually say the most enjoyable watch that I had, you know, I love two, but the one that I enjoyed most watching was actually part one. And that's usually something like I just throw on and it's like background noise. But I was actually like really paying attention to it this go around. And I don't know why. Like I was just very invested in watching it yesterday morning. And I think the one thing that like I swear you notice something like even though you've seen a movie a million times, do you ever notice something different that you hadn't picked up on before?
Yep.
And
Hmm.
I'm sure like other people have picked up on this or whatever, but my whole thing was the fact that Billy and Sydney started dating. He said, "We started off, 2 years ago, hot and heavy, but her mom only died a year prior to that. So they had dated a whole year before he actually went and murked her mom." That was something that like I'd never like resonated in my brain, I guess. Does that make sense? Like, do you guys ever do stuff like that?
Yes.
Like even if it's your
Yeah.
favorite fucking movie, like you just don't like pick like the inadequacies or whatever it is. I don't know. I just thought that was very interesting that they dated for an entire year before he decided to murder her mother. Like, did Roman meet him when they were like 15 and like was planning this for 2 years? Like
Oh,
it's just really interesting to think about. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that can happen with like multiple watches of your favorite movies because at a certain point, it's almost like your mind can be on autopilot for all the things you remember. So
Yeah.
like you
Right.
start looking around and like little details, little things in the background, little hints, and clues they might have thrown in there because you're not missing all the stuff that you're like so overly familiar with anyway. So yeah, I can see that happening. And I was gonna ask you, Lacey, because I don't know if you're like the official number one Scream fan in the world, but you're definitely the the number one Scream fan I know as far as the
Thank you. I
franchise.
appreciate that. I
So
think
I was just
Dan's up there too, but yeah.
I was just curious. It's like the dumbest question, but have you ever like put on a Scream movie, like any of them, like 30, 45 minutes in, just turned it off due to like not interested in watching it anymore? Or is it just like one
No.
of those things where
No,
No.
like
no,
it always
no.
pulls me in every
No.
time?
No, I guess I think the only thing that I would equate to that would be like back in the day, like they played Scream 3 so much on TBS.
Hmm.
Like we were talking about earlier, like we, grew up in different generations. So like it was on cable and like there wasn't like a TiVo or streaming, like you literally have to like watch the commercials play, you know? Like it was on Comedy Central, it was on TBS all the time. And I fell asleep a lot on that one just because, but even though it was my least favorite, I would still watch it because it was on, even though I owned the actual VHS. Like I could just pop it in and watch the whole movie without commercials. But there's just something comforting about that franchise to me to where I just feel safe and secure, even though it's about people murdering other people. Um, I don't know,
Yeah.
like, but I mean, I guess that would like there are certain points in each film to where I will fall asleep on when I pop it on, but never something that like I will just stop watching. Like I'll
Yeah,
fall asleep, but it's a comfort movie, so that makes sense to me.
it does because when I was deciding to ask you that, I was thinking about it earlier today, and I was trying to think if there was an equivalent for me. And I think growing up for me, it was the Nightmare franchise because I know like the entries and like the back end of it like aren't as good and definitely considered not as good to like most people. But I would like think back. Now, granted, I don't rewatch them now as frequently as you still watch the Scream entries, but thinking back to when I did used to watch them over and over when I was younger, I don't think there was like ever a time, even with like the quote unquote bad entries, that I would ever like turn it off because like I finally hit a wall or finally got bored with it. I was like, no, I just liked them all like constantly, no matter how many times, no
I
matter,
guess I
you know,
guess there is like in five, to when Dewey dies, I get very uncomfortable. And like if it's late at night and it's about to come up on that scene and like that's not where I want to leave things for my night, like I have shut that off. I guess that would be my one thing. And that's only just because like I mean, I named my dog Dewey. He's like my favorite character of all time. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So, I guess I have shut it off when it comes to Dewey's death in five. I love the movie, but it's uncomfortable for me. Like when we were watching it yesterday, like I literally just watched four movies of him just being awesome. And then we come to his swan song and I literally bawled again. Like, I don't know. Like sometimes I cry, sometimes I don't. Like it took me like 30 years to get over Randy's death. So I'm finally over that. And now we're focusing on Dewey's death. So, but yeah, so I have shut it off when it comes to that just because I don't want to watch it.
Yeah, I guess I could say maybe the first five Fridays is kind of similar, just because they all have basically the same formula. It feels like a lot of them could be interchangeable because it's killing teens at a summer camp, basically. So, um, but yeah, I was just curious. I didn't, I
Yeah, I don't
figured,
know if that's the same thing. I mean, that's a character that like you love for four movies straight, and then they just murk him in five finally. You know what I mean? Like, and like, so I don't know if that's the same of being interchangeable.
no, I just meant like as far as like my never getting tired of like rewatching the movies. That's what I meant.
What about you, Dan? Do you ever shut off a Scream movie?
What are you fucking crazy?
Not in this house.
Hell no.
Not in
And
this
let me
house.
add this to it as well. I will add that Nightmare on Elm Street, look at Friday the 13th, look at all these franchises. Give me a character that you can actually follow these years, you know? And we have characters that to this day we are still following from the 90s that are still alive that aren't, the third iteration. We're looking at you, Jamie Lee Curtis. You know what I'm saying? So it's there's definitely something to be said about longevity, about 30 years, about depth, about a writer that writes characters that are written for TV shows that have depth. I mean, I'm not taking anything away from those other franchises, but it definitely doesn't have those things, that's for sure. So could that be a reason why that's the only fucking franchise still thriving to this day and still cohesive? Possibly, but it could be one of the other fucking 10 million reasons as well that it's just fucking amazing. So hell no, we don't shut that shit off. We just play it again and
The
again and
the only
again.
the only caveat I would say that would have a timeline that is cohesive would be the Child's Play series because
Right.
it's still
Yeah,
in
Definitely.
one
yeah.
timeline. Yeah. But
What's
it's not as good, in my opinion. But yeah.
is the biggest gap between Scream movies three and four or four and five?
For 3 and 4 was 10 years, 2011, and then 2000, probably 4 and 5, I would guess.
Okay.
I could be
Yeah,
wrong.
because Scream 3 came out in 2000. They're both the same. It's 11-year difference.
But you were talking about movies about like looking back on them differently or whatever, and that's how I felt about 5 and 6 in terms of like I was just happy to get Scream movies. Now I look back, Williamson's back, and I'm like, yo, fuck those movies. Like we don't even need them. So it's kind of like those things. It's like it constantly shifts in terms of what the reality is that is
Well, yeah,
presented to
which
you
is
right
interesting
in front of
because when
you.
they did the Scream, the TV series, I was like, oh no, this is gonna be horrible. Like, I'm never getting another Scream movie. And, then you kind of accept it for what it is.
And then they
And
get
I
Ty
feel like,
West to direct episodes and shit.
but then you get, Scream is coming back to film and we get 5 and 6 and, you just accept it for what it is. And now, like, I feel like we're getting the most
Now they're the
Scream
bastard
related move.
children.
Yeah, like you're
Daddy's
going back to
home.
the roots. Yeah, basically.
Daddy's home. Williamson, he's taking the throne. Everybody sit the fuck down and pay attention.
All right. Well, to wrap up Venom's favorite segment of the show, I'm sure. On this recent rewatch of one through six, was there any changing to your franchise ranking?
Um, I I had to rank it down differently because like I feel like there's like different variations of like how you can rank these movies based off of serious and tone. I think that basically stays the same, which would be one, two, five, four, three, six. And then you have to do because it is a meta horror slasher who done it. So I had to go based off of comedic timing, which would be three, six, four, and then two, one, five. I feel like five, like, I mean, like that one was really hard for me to rank because even though like three is so comedic and Scooby-Doo-ish, um, it has the most brutal message of it, with the sexual assault and horror and all of that. Like there is that, but like so like I get why they did the comedic overtone that they did, and we're going to talk about more about the time frame that it came out when we get into Cherry Falls, but um yeah, that one was hard to rank, but overall, tonally wise, throughout the whole course of the movie, it is the most comedic. You know what I mean? Like you get Jay and Silent Bob in there. How can that not be the most comedic?
Look,
Like it's
Silent
hard.
Bob, this Connie Chung. Hey,
Like it's
Connie.
hard,
Connie, where's Maury?
So I mean, they're playing it on the comedy station, like Comedy Central. Like, so I mean, there's a lot to be made fun of with these films and whatnot, but at the same time, there are serious elements of these movies.
That
That's
is
all.
true. That is true. Okay, well, yeah, and I guess because you were you wondering, I am guessing that this episode will probably release right around the time our episode of Fresh Cuts talking about Scream 7 releases, which would be next week. So that's probably that'd be my guess. So it's gonna be more Scream on our
More
shows coming up
scream.
soon. Okay, so I guess that has intros out of the way. Um, Catching up with everything, but now we're gonna get into some stuff we've been watching. Venom, I trust not rewatches of Scream movies. So what do you got up first, Venom?
All right, I rewatched Scream 5. No. Um the first movie I'm bringing to the table today is going to be an independent found footage movie. This movie dropped on Found TV on Valentine's Day. This movie is called Be My Valentine. This movie is written and directed by Stephanie Davis, and Stephanie herself actually reached out to Mike and I via email to ask us to kind of check this movie out. And me being a found footage, just, apologist, I absolutely went ahead and checked it out. And I am happy to report that I enjoyed the film. The movie is only a little over an hour long. It's about an hour and 5 minutes. Like I said, it was available on YouTube for a premiere screening situation, but it's not there anymore. Now it's available on Found TV, which is an app I don't really use, so I don't know much about it. But like I said, this movie, Be My Valentine, follows a girl, Gina, who's falling in love with a man that she's yet to officially meet, and the movie just kind of spirals downward from there. I don't really want to say too much about the film because I'm not sure, like, if the reveal of our antagonist was a little bit of a spoiler, or some of the events of the film. But overall, I will say that the performance by Samantha D'Alessio, I believe is how you pronounce her last name, as our main character Gina, was pretty damn solid. Like, this was a great performance. She ran the gambit of emotions, the highs, the lows, the normals, the crazies, everything. Like, this was a really good performance on her part. Michael Patrick Green as her romantic entanglement also did a really good job. Now, unfortunately, I do have to report that this movie doesn't have a lot of gore, doesn't have a lot of on-screen kills. And the few on-screen kills that we actually do get are just kind of stabbings to the abdomen. Nothing too crazy, nothing too bloody. The finale is a little bloody just because of the amount of stabs, but other than that, if you're looking for gore, you're going to be disappointed. But I would say if you're a fan of character studies in horror, especially of fractured minds, I think Be My Valentine is a solid movie to check out. Like I said, it'll only take you a little over an hour to watch. Anything over an hour, I still consider a feature. So it goes on my list for 2026. And yeah, I'm going to assume no one else has probably seen this unless Mike got a chance to watch it. But
Nope, I have not actually.
yeah. Yeah, like I said, I see the words found footage and I'm there. Like I don't care. It doesn't even have to be a fucking horror movie. You could do a found footage movie on polka music and I'll fucking watch it. I don't care.
Oka poka.
But yeah, I am a found footage apologist. I absolutely adore the film style. And, you know, I know it's an acquired taste. I know a lot of people are down on it, and that's fine. Nothing wrong with that. But my point being, if you're a fan of character driven, found footage, you know, kind of crazy mind type films, then yeah, Be My Valentine is a solid choice.
Nice.
All right, Derek, what you got?
All right. So speaking of apologists, I'm kind of a apologist to monkey movies. So I checked out the movie Primate.
Yes.
From director Johannes Roberts, who did the two 47 Meters Down movies. Man, fucking, I was expecting anything in the, like, I watched this on fucking gummies too, and when those, like, when they fucking get out of the pool to sneak back into the house, I was fucking anxiety leveled because I didn't know when this fucking monkey was gonna pop out of this fucking movie. I was fucked. Fuck that monkey. Fucking Ben. Bad. Lucy. Bad.
Bad Ben.
Yeah. I had a fun with it. Like there's some like very trope characters that we meet very early on, as pretty much I know these fucking kids are gonna get killed horrifically in this movie. The airplane kids, the fucking douchebags they are. They deserve to die. But yeah, I liked it. Like the deaf guy that was in it that won the Oscar for Coda. He plays the dad. I thought that was kind of a cool fucking, like, how to represent, like, have this monkey do sign language. You know what I mean? It was kind of a cool way to bring it in. You know, you see like through the credits, like the little flashbacks of like the newspaper clippings of his wife being like a training this ape and shit. But yeah, I like it that
his wife was Jane Goodall.
Yeah, pretty much. You know, the whole thing with like
the deaf dad was the worst dad in cinematic history, aside from fucking the dad from Casper. Okay, like, you want me to get into that? No, I'm just kidding. But he was bad.
Yeah, he's all right. He's grieving still. You know, like he had
what
like
do you
that.
mean? He literally just was like, hey, Ben's gonna be in his cage, and then they just get the people like he starts acting rabid, and they were like, all right, he tested positive. No, he didn't test positive for rabies. All right, I'll run it again. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
To be fair, there's actually no rabies on Hawaii. That's actually a known fact, so that's probably why he thought that.
But that's such a horrible thing, though. Like, he literally tested positive for it. Like, take legitimate concern.
I thought they got the test results after he had already left. Like, he was already gone.
Yeah, he was like sitting there at a convention, and then they called him and told him that
and he took off and he left instantly. Like,
no,
literally,
he didn't. No, he didn't. And she was like, "I'm going to test again," and he goes, "Okay."
But then he left. I mean, did you not notice that he arrived home like in the next scene?
I watched this movie 2 months ago.
He goes, "Oh, sorry, we could have been wrong. Let's check again." Like, how the fuck could you be wrong about that? It's fucking rabies.
Right. No, that's the science of it obviously doesn't science.
Yeah.
But ultimately,
she's like, "Don't worry about it. We'll just check it again." Like, what? Don't call me and tell me that.
Yeah, you're right. It could be the flu. We'll test again.
It could be the measles. What?
Well, that's one of many issues I have with Primate. I mean, Primate, I enjoyed it overall. It had some good kills, the face rip, the jaw snap. Like, those were all some great, practical, enhanced with CGI effects that looked pretty good. My biggest issue, and I talked about it on Fresh Cuts, was just that I didn't give a shit about anybody in this movie. Like, there was no impactful deaths. I didn't care about it. We didn't even spend any time with Ben. Like I didn't even care about Ben. Like usually when you have a creature run amok movie, by the end of the film, you almost feel bad for the creature, stuff like King Kong, movies like that. But with Ben, we spent no time with them. Literally, it's like we meet him and then he gets rabies.
I
And then
think
the
that was
movie,
on purpose too, but yeah, I know what you
oh,
mean. It's
valid.
like,
I mean, if
right.
that was a choice by the director, then, whatever,
Yeah.
that's fine. I don't agree with it, but, whatever.
Here comes
But
the groan. My biggest problem with Primate was it ripped off a scene from Scream.
Yeah, it did big time, like over and over again with the car, with the button
The Jeep?
clicking. Yep, total ripoff.
Rips off a scene from The Shining too.
I thought you were gonna say I thought you were gonna say when they asked Ben what his favorite scary movie was.
Fuck, the first to go is fucking Peter.
Dunstan checks in.
Yeah. Imagine crossover. Primate 2, Dustin goes berserk.
Dunstan versus Ben for all the bananas.
Dunstan rings your bell.
Dunstan versus Ben versus Amy from Congo.
All right. I guess we can go to Dan and Lacey. What do you guys got up first?
Lacy Lou, anything?
Oh, you want me to go first?
Yeah, you go.
Okay. So we decided we were gonna talk about different films, so that way we would each have something to talk about.
Oh,
Um, I said I was going to talk about Wuthering Heights, but apparently that doesn't fit the criteria for this episode. But I'm
I
gonna
heard
put
he
it.
had a gold tooth.
He did have a gold tooth. It was ridiculous.
Was DJ
Like-
Qualls in one of them?
Nobody's in Cherry Falls. But no, Wuthering Heights. I know that's like a huge book, and that's not. And I'm a reader, and that's not something that I'd ever read. And I knew that it was supposed to be like this epic romance, but like these people are just fucking god awful. Like they're terrible people. Like I don't want to spoil it if like I want people to be as surprised as I was when I watched this movie. Like I think they could have even went darker with it if I'm being honest, but like the things that Heathcliff does in this fucking movie is atrocious. Borderline horror, in my opinion, to what he does to this one little bitch. But yeah, no, it's a very dark film, and if you like teeter the edge of thriller, like rom-com, like it's not a rom-com even. Like I don't even know how to classify this fucking movie. It's not even romance. Like it's just a fucked up relationship of these two awful people that just play other people, and that's all I'll say. There's like just some really fucked up moments in this movie, and that's it. So if you want me to talk about a horror movie, I will have to go with, me and Mike are doing the 100-year challenge, right? Have you talked about that on this, Mike?
I think I had it in my notes originally to mention it, but it's been so long that it was before I ever even like signed up to start doing it.
Yeah, I think I only have like 5 horror movies on the 100-year challenge list. So we're doing from 1926 to 2025 movies that we've never seen before. And a lot of mine are thriller, but I did put a couple of horror movies on there. And the first one that I put was Freaks, 1932, yeah. And this was my first time watch for that. So I feel like this would be a good discussion. Yeah, you guys agree?
Yeah, I love it.
I love Freaks. Yeah.
masterpiece.
Like, but when I was watching it, I was like, I feel like I'd seen this before. And there was a movie, I think, is it called Freak Show? And it came out like in the early 2000s, early aughts, I guess is what they call them. Freak Show, and it was like banned in like 182 countries or some shit like that. And it was very similar to this movie that I was watching for 1932. And this movie is only like like an hour.
Yeah, 55 minutes.
It's a very short. And but what was so cool about it, aside from seeing that, the remake that I had bought a long time ago, was the influence that this movie actually has on cinema. in horror movies. Like when,
Mhm.
the freaks are crawling towards, their victim
The
at
one with
like
no legs and no arms, just holding a knife in his mouth. He's going to war.
and Goomba
Fucking
Gomba,
so
Goomba
awesome.
Gomba. Like,
One
I
of
mean, like,
us. One of us.
yeah, like no,
Yes.
but like when they're like crawling, like that's so reminiscent of so many horror movies. It was so cool to see where that fucking originated from. Like I shit you not, and I'll talk about it when we do the show, with the other guys, Mike. But it was definitely fucking cool to see. And I mean, I don't necessarily think this movie is like horror to the umph degree, like scary wise, but it was definitely cool to see the influence. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, when you find out that the movie was made by Todd Browning, you understand
Yeah.
why it's so brilliant. It's a goddamn masterpiece, and I will stand
So
on that
good.
hill.
So good.
Unfortunately, this movie destroyed Todd Browning's career because, as you know, the year before he directed Dracula to high praise. But then when he released Freaks, it ended up getting banned in so many places that it pretty much destroyed his career. I'm not even sure if he
Oh
directed
no.
again after Freaks.
Really?
It's
Oh wow.
basically the same thing that happened to the director of Peeping Tom. He basically his career just went to shit.
Yeah.
That's so sad. Like
Mhm.
people trying to like do something different.
Exactly. No, Freaks, like I said, it's like Todd Browning took the mistakes from Dracula and corrected them in Freaks, because Freaks is
Mm.
head and shoulders a much more um atmospheric and I'm just going to say scary movie than the original Dracula. I mean, I'm not the
Mm.
biggest fan of the original Bela Lugosi Dracula. I give it its props for what its place in history, and obviously Bela is spectacular, but as a film, it's rather dull with a very uneventful ending. In fact, the
Mm.
Spanish version of the original Dracula is better. Like that
Mm.
movie is head and shoulders better than the Bela Lugosi one. But that's a discussion for another show.
So, do you like my pick for that better than Wuthering Heights, Venom?
Oh, we kind of talked about both of them, didn't we?
Yeah.
Slightly, slightly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when American Horror Story Freak Show came out.
Right.
Oh, they look the same.
Right.
Like I
So, yeah.
interviewed. Oh my god, I
The
cannot.
pinhead. The pinhead.
The what?
The pinheads. The ladies with like one of the characters from Freak Show is the same characters that were in the Freaks.
Yeah, they were. Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Well,
Yeah.
that was my pick for my recently watched. So let Dan speak
All
of
right,
his.
Dan, what you got?
We watched a bunch of movies. I really liked that. What the fuck was that Colin Farrell, Margot Robbie one? That one was cool. I really dug that. Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey. That was a lot of fun. I don't really have much to say about that except it made me feel really good. It was like kind of a feel good watch. Just got done watching Marty Supreme. Holy motherfucking shit, was that a banger? Did not expect that. Has anybody seen that?
Not
Yeah,
yet.
I liked it.
Okay. Okay, good. Because I didn't know what to expect from that one. Like I had heard good things, but whatever. And yeah, I just came out of that one fucking mind blown. It was just it had that uncut gems vibe. It had that just fucking energy and it stuck the landing too. I'm still on the fence about Chalamet there, but he's definitely got the fucking spirit. He's definitely
Alame.
yeah, he's got the fucking drive. That's for damn sure. So, but yeah, and those movies that Lacey were talking about, I don't want to. I'm trying to not mispronounce her name, but Saltburn and fucking Promising Young Woman. It's definitely probably in the vein of those. Is what she was trying to tell me and like trying to
Emerald
convince.
Fennell.
Thank you. Yeah. So, I'm definitely actually interested in checking that one out more than anything because of all the dark shit that I heard in Wuthering Heights. But no, Marty Supreme was fantastic. Everyone go check that out. It's just a fucking banger of a movie. It's hard to it's ping pongs in it. There's a lot of crazy shit going on. It's one of those movies that is just kind of off the wall all over the place.
It
But
makes you worry about the fucking dog.
yeah, well, from a story standpoint too, you're like, because one of my favorite movies of all time is Inside Llewyn Davis, and it reminded me a lot of that in a sense. Not in terms of like the vibe or the feel, because Inside Llewyn Davis is like very kind of depressing, but this was kind of the opposite to that, and it was very energetic and very inspiring. So Marty Supreme, man, I fucking dug it. So yeah,
Since you brought up Big Bold Beautiful Journey, did you
yeah,
see Eternally with Miles Teller and Elizabeth Olsen?
no, that
Because it
one
No,
was
got
it's on
dropped
our
in.
list, but
Yeah,
we
is
haven't
that
checked it
good?
out yet.
yeah, because they kind of came out at the same time
Right.
as far as like on VOD at least, and
Yep.
I remember I seen them both like browsing, and I picked Eternally like randomly. You guys picked Big Bold Beautiful Journey, so I need to watch the other one, and then once you watch the other one, we can compare notes because like
Dude, yeah,
I
please
like the
do.
cast of both.
It was solid as fuck too. I mean I know you'll appreciate it, but it kind of reminded me of just like an episode of Black Mirror. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
yeah.
But but in the best way possible, if that makes
And
sense.
the last thing that I would mention that we watched was the first episode of Ryan Murphy's Beauty. I know you guys had mentioned the
Oh
substance
my
earlier,
god, what
but
the fuck was
that
that?
that show is like on steroids. We've only watched the first episode. Have you guys watched it yet?
I
I
watched the
haven't, but
first episode.
I know what
That
it's
was
about though.
insane.
It's
That
literally
was
like
insane.
steroids.
What the fuck?
Like I have no idea where the show is going, but I know they're comparing it a lot to the substance. So,
Yeah, and one more thing before we wrap up our watch thing is Lacey turned me on to a show and she's been trying to get me to watch it for a while now, and I'm so lucky that I caught up because I caught up right before the final episodes got released. So we kind of got to watch it together and it was nice. But yo, if anybody has the opportunity, fantastic writing, super fucked up shit. Check out Tell Me Lies. It stars Katie Seagal's son as the lead. And he easily just fucking skyrocketed to the top of like all-time fucking favorite TV villains. I just hate this guy so much. So if you get the chance, I know it's not necessarily, the demographic talking on this show, but Tell Me Lies. There's mad titties in it too.
What channel is it on?
Hulu. Or is it Hulu, baby?
On
Hulu,
Disney
Disney
Plus?
Plus, yeah.
Disney,
All
Disney,
right,
yeah.
I'll check it out.
I have heard a lot
Amazing.
about it, so
Derek
I
heard
think
titties. He goes, sold.
Exactly.
it's a
Good
it's a
titties too, Derek.
he's all, don't
it's
Oh,
spoil
really
yeah.
good
anything
titties.
else.
It's tough to get through. It's tough to get through. Have your Kleenex ready, but it's a really good show.
Okay.
Really good. Yeah.
All right. For my first one, I actually have a few picks potentially that have been in the theater that we just didn't cover on Fresh Cut since we only do one a week. And the first one I'll bring up is Whistle. Holy shit, what a bad movie this was.
Oh no.
I
The
normally am a
whistle.
fan of like cursed object movies. Me and Venom are two parts of the uh, Crystal Lake Gift Shop with actually Lacey, because Lacey's been on pretty much every episode we've done so far as well. So like just the fact that like we're rewatching that show, which is all about cursed objects. So when I saw the trailer for Whistle, I was like, oh cool. Maybe this will end up being better than I hoped. And no, not really. It's pretty silly. Motivations are silly. Actions by most of the characters are dumb, and it does a few things okay, like a few decent kills, but really it's not enough to save this one. Venom, you ended up seeing Whistle even though we didn't do it, right?
Sorry, yes. Yeah, I did see Whistle and it's terrible.
Okay. I was like, I think that's why we didn't do it because no one in that saw
Is
it
it
ended up
even
Well,
liking
good
it.
that's
as a
terrible.
renter?
Maybe as a Netflix, like late at
Uh,
night.
if it's on streaming and you literally have nothing better to do, then maybe. But I would just say go watch Scream 3 again.
Fuck you.
Well, like I love like Truth or Dare and Tarot. So is this something that I will like?
Uh, I mean,
I like Wish Upon.
I would put it in those
I just watched that
in that
recently.
grouping. Yeah, I mean, I would say
So
watch
I
it.
might like it then.
It's very conceivable that you would like it at least more than we did. I don't know if
Okay.
you go as far to say, "Oh, this was a good movie," but You could be like, hey,
Like,
you guys were too harsh. I could see
like
that.
this is watchable.
It's like watchable, I would
Okay.
say. Yeah.
Yeah. Just
I
not
mean,
the
it's
pain
a
in the
cursed
theater.
object movie, so like you're introduced pretty quickly to like how it's gonna work, and then it's really
Is
gonna
it better
be.
than Amityville 4?
Is it better or worse than Smiley?
I
What was it,
like
Venom?
Smiley. I did it for the
I did it for
lulz.
the lulz.
Hey, everything I do is for the lulz.
Oh, we know.
Yeah, I'll take Smiley over Whistle.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yep.
I'm definitely not seeing Whistle then.
Lacy will just have to pull it for like next movie night for you guys. Her surprise, and then
No, the
opening
whistle.
credits for
Doo,
Whistle.
doo.
Oh, it's happening. Like, yeah.
All right, back to you, Venom.
All right, sticking with 2025 or 26 movies, depending on which release you go with on this one. Once again, another theatrical movie that I saw this year. One that I would say it's probably the single movie character that has had the most movies made about him. I can't think of any other movie character, not James Bond, not Sherlock Holmes, not fucking
Pink
Frankenstein.
Panther?
Like
Godzilla.
no, Godzilla, not even close. Oh my god. Godzilla's only up to 39, right? And this guy's is well over 100. So
Oh, wow.
anyway, this we are of course talking about once again another Dracula adaptation. This one coming to us from Luc Besson or Besson, depending on how that's pronounced. And it is basically Bram Stoker's Dracula. It is a retelling of the original story, very similar to Francis Ford Coppola's movie back in '93. I will say that this one, first of all, let's talk about what this movie does well. Aesthetically, it's gorgeous. It's a beautiful film, very reminiscent of the recent Frankenstein and last year's Nosferatu, or 2 years ago, depending on how you look at it. Just, beautiful set design, beautiful costume design, great performances. The movie is solid overall. There's not really a whole lot to complain about, though I do think that some people are going to have some issues with the gargoyles. If you've seen the movie, then you know what I'm talking about. And I'm not going to say any more about it. But yeah,
like the Disney gargoyles?
Say no more.
you could kind of say that, but anyway, there is gargoyles in this Dracula movie.
I need to know more.
Cut the
but
wine and cheese the cheese.
Say no more, me more.
I will say that our lead, Caleb Landry Jones, does a great job as Dracula. Like I said, he's not a brutal Dracula. He's very much a romantic Dracula. He's just like Gary Oldman in the Coppola version. He's looking for the reincarnation of his love. Like I said, the story is very basic. They do change a few things up. The biggest change is no Renfield. There's no Renfield in this movie. They actually combine Lucy and Renfield into one character in this movie. So Lucy, if you remember the redhead who got let's say assaulted by the werewolf Dracula in the Coppola movie.
Nightmare Fuel.
Yeah, she actually starts as the Renfield character, where she's in an institution being interviewed, blah, blah. She talks about, my master will be back soon, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, like I said, they combine Lucy and Renfield. The other big change is no Van Helsing, even though there is a Van Helsing style character in this movie, played by Christoph Waltz. Once again, he actually plays a doctor. Yeah, he did Frankenstein and Dracula. Maybe he'll do Wolfman next. Who knows? But anyway, but Christoph is always great. I mean, that comment I made earlier about give him an Oscar every year, I stand by that. Just about every performance that man has ever given. Granted, there's a lot of similarities to the performances, but they're still fucking great. I love them. So I give Dracula a thumbs up. But as I'm walking out of the theater, I just thought to myself, did this movie need to be made? Like it doesn't add anything to the lore. It doesn't do anything other than the gargoyles thing, which, like I said, might be a little divisive among viewers. It doesn't really take any chances. It doesn't do anything too differently. You know, the couple of changes that I've already discussed is really the majority of it. But like I said, if you're a fan of just beautifully shot, beautifully designed movies, beautifully scored movies, then I would say Dracula is worth watching. I'm pretty sure it's still in theaters. I mean, if it's still in there, it's probably only going to be there for like another week or two. It's already been out for what, well over a month at this point. And but I mean, I say I recommend it. Like, if you're a horror fan, if you're looking for a bloody Dracula movie, this is not it. So if you're looking for a horror-esque Dracula, this is not your movie. But if you're into the romanticism of Dracula and Count, Vlad, then this is the movie for you. So I would give it a mild recommend. But if you are going to watch it, try to watch it in theaters because it is gorgeous.
Right on.
I want to see it. I
Hell
love
yeah.
Luc Besson.
Luc
Yeah.
Besson.
Yeah, I remember when I heard about this coming out, that was the main reason I was a little intrigued because of who the director was. Because my initial feeling was like coming off Nosferatu, where you could even have the same kind of opinion of that. Like, it looks great, but why was this even made? And then
Right.
all of a sudden, a few months later, now a Dracula movie where it seems like it's pretty much going to be Bram Stoker. So why are we doing this again?
Yeah.
Right.
I'd say the Nosferatu was a little bit more viable since we haven't really gotten a lot of good Nosferatu movies. You know, we got the original, we got the Klaus Kinski, and then we've gotten a bunch of just shitty ones besides those. Whereas with Dracula, we just had a spectacular Dracula, 33 years ago. So I guess 30 years is the mark. Every 30 years, we're going to get a big, expensive Dracula movie in theaters, I guess.
What about Dracula 2000?
That was fucking hot garbage.
Well, at least we agree on something.
Hey.
Leonidas, I am Dracula.
Oh,
This is
God.
Sparta.
One of the worst Draculas ever.
We even had Baron von Trappen as Van Helsing.
Okay, that was Patrick Lussier.
Oh, that was. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, he said.
All right, Derek, what you got up next?
Okay, speaking of fucking my love of trashy cinema, I picked this up from makeflix.com. It's called The Emasculator. And ironically enough, it stars somebody that we know, fucking Carly Sonnenfeld's in this
No
movie.
way.
Yeah. But yeah, pretty much it's about like this guy who's kind of like his wife, I think, died like a year prior. It's been a while since I watched this, but Carly actually plays this guy's daughter. She's gonna go on a date, like with this guy. They go to like this meet his friends who drug her, and then they make like a fucking rape porno video. It's fucking crazy. But then,
Well, that got dark quick.
yeah,
fuck, Carly?
it's kind of like a rape revenge.
Jesus.
It's like a rape revenge movie. The reason why it's called Emasculator because this guy goes with the cattle fucking thing that cuts the cattle's the emasculator. So he takes
That's
it.
what it's called.
when they castrate the cow.
Yeah, he takes his castrator.
Okay.
So he takes the cattle castrator and goes around getting revenge on all these guys that made this video with his daughter.
Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. It's co-produced by Tim Ritter. He produced it. If you know, for the SOV tanks, he did like the original like Truth or Dares from like the 90s, the ones
Yeah,
that
no,
Elijah
you had me
Wood-
sold at Carly Sonnenfeld. You had me sold
yeah,
there.
yeah. But it's a cool movie. It's very retro, shot on video style, and it actually had a twist ending I was not expecting. I want to spoil it if you do want to check it out, but yeah, it was fun for what it was. I'm not gonna say it was like a well acted movie. It's just a bunch of people having fun making a movie with, like in the old like shot on video style. It's like something you watch late at night with a few beers and like have a marathon with like shitty like SOV video cinema.
I'm
I
done.
would recommend it if you're a fan of that kind of stuff. I'm not gonna say like everyone should check it out. But if you are a fan of like that style of cinema, check it out.
Oh yeah.
Did you get it off Diabolique DVD?
No, I actually bought it on makeflix.com. They actually the ones that they actually do like a lot of like burn on demands for like companies like Temp Video and like I'm trying to think of Fred Olin Ray's company, Retro Media. They do a lot of their releases too. So I usually shop through them a lot.
I was just looking at the IMDb page, and the tagline is "He'll pull you up by the root."
Oh, you should check out the trailer. The trailer is fucking awesome. I watched the trailer on YouTube. Like that kind of sold me. It has like one of those retro like 80s voices throughout it. It's pretty
Okay,
fun.
like the voiceover, like that's cool. Yeah, I'll check out the trailer for sure. All right, back to Lacy Lou.
Oh, I thought I was done. That's why
We're
I'm in
not
Wuthering
finished
Heights
yet.
already. Yes. Well, I guess then I will have to go with, I know you guys already covered it on Fresh Cuts, so I'll talk about it here. Which is Send Help. Sam Raimi. I am the biggest Survivor fan of all time. Well, I mean, I don't know of all time, but I love Survivor so fucking much. And this movie did everything that I needed it to do. Um, I love Rachel McAdams so fucking much. I didn't know the other guy, I can't think of his name right now, but I guess he's in like Teen
Styles.
Wolf. Yeah, Steen Wolf is what I was about because I was saying Styles and Teen Wolf at the same time. Steen Wolf Styles. Never mind. Anyways, I had the best time watching this movie. I don't think it's like an epic movie of proportions for Sam Raimi. Obviously he has a lot to live up to. I don't think this is even cult level status of Drag Me to Hell, but I think it's fun. I think it's a fun movie. I love when they're just like watching her audition to Survivor. Yeah, I really like Send Help. It's a fun movie. If you like Survivor, you'll like Send Help. Bye.
Bye.
I had a lot to say, but not without spoilers, so sorry.
Help has been sent. What did you think of Send Help, Dan, or did you not see it?
Oh, dude, I was right fucking there. I loved it. His little sniveling. Like, oh my God. He was so good in that fucking movie. Dude, Rachel McAdams is the motherfucking shit. And I like the message of that movie. You know, you're not looking for a message, but there's a little line in there. And it's just like, hey, there's no help coming. Like, I love it, dude. Fucking love that movie. It was so much fun. It was like Raimi just through and through, I thought. And there were certain surprises in that movie that I was like, what the fuck? And I know you guys know what I'm talking about. So very interesting. Very fucking kept me on my toes. And that was a lot of fun. You know what? Also, we saw early, which was great. We did our little $5 mystery movie. Anybody ever do any of those to the theaters? We
I have
have.
not.
I do it
oh,
every opportunity I get.
okay. I was gonna say I know at least probably I know Venom does because you're always at the fucking theater.
Mhm.
So we went, man, and we get like half price. So it was literally like $5 for the both of us, plus free popcorn, everything. Let's fucking go. Now, obviously, as I'm sure you do as well, but or I don't know. I don't know your process. Do you keep it a mystery or do you try and figure out what it is, Mr. Venom?
I mean, I'll try to figure it out, but I've never successfully guessed it. So
Oh, really? Okay.
yeah.
I mean, like, I feel like we have a good idea, like being cinema lovers that we are, that we can kind of, like, if they give you any type of context clue, like, hey, it's a horror thriller or comedy drama, like, I think knowing what's coming out in the next week, you can, you
If
know.
you really want to know, you can find out, which is exactly what Lacy Lou did.
Yeah,
Because
I
he's like,
don't like surprises. That's why
no,
nobody's ever thrown me a surprise birthday party.
right, well, exactly. So when we went last Monday, it was like 99.9% sure that it was the new Glenn Powell movie. What's it called, baby? I'm sorry.
How to Make a Killing
How to Make a Killing. So we saw
with
that,
Margot
and
Qualley.
Yes.
Substance.
Oh my goodness gracious. And I don't know if anybody's seen that, but I had an absolute fucking blast with that one. Kind of a dark tone. I was trying to
It's
catch the tone the whole
it's kind
movie and it
of
was hard.
like Knives Out meets like an Agatha Christie movie, but like it's not a whodunit. Like you know exactly what's transpiring, but you just don't know where it's gonna end, which is the fun
Right.
part.
Yeah, exact. Thank you. Well said. Yeah, it was a really fun movie. I didn't know um again, like Lacey Lou said, where exactly it was going, but I knew like the whole time it was like this is just a fun movie. And it was really dark, but at the same time, it's like that to me epitomized like a dark comedy. You know what I mean? It was just like super fucked up, but I was just kind of smiling
It's
the whole
kind
movie.
of like very bad things.
I was just gonna fucking say that. Oh my god. That's so
But
weird.
like
Yeah.
I wouldn't even say it's as bad as very
In
bad things.
tone,
It's
no.
kind of tame because like the world is very tame these days. But I feel like we're on the comeback to getting more fucked up shit, which
Yeah,
we
and it's
liked.
it's not like in your face crazy or whatever. It's literally the opposite. It's like low key, like, oh, this is kind of crazy. So, anyways, Glenn Powell's doing his thing. I heard he's doing something with the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre too. So, I mean, he's fucking everywhere. You can't deny Glenn Powell. So, if anybody has a chance to check this out, if anybody hasn't here already, have you guys? Has anybody seen this one yet?
Not yet.
It
It
is out now though.
I'm always working, so I never get to really go to the theaters, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I would check it out.
It'll
It
be
was
on
definitely a
Plex
fun
in a
watch.
week.
Yeah, right. But yeah, that's I think that's about it. I think I caught some episodes of Goosebumps and Power Rangers in between, but that's about it in terms of my watching.
Oh,
All right.
Power Rangers for life.
That's what I'm saying, dog.
Next up, I'll talk about one I saw on Shutter because, like the other ones I saw in the theater, which might get brought up by Venom because I know we both saw some. I'll see if he brings them up, but I like this one better. It was actually a Shutter release called Honey Bunch, and this movie kind of starts out as like a relationship drama. There's a couple that are working through their marriage issues, and they go to this like therapeutic retreat. And as you can guess, like what starts out as like standard therapy and help goes places that you don't, well, I didn't see coming. Obviously, from the beginning, something's not quite on the level, but they do a good job kind of containing what that is. There's like an eerie undertone the entire time, but they don't go over the top with it to begin with to kind of let the slow burn happen. And we start getting some surrealism aspects, a little bit of unreliable narrator. And once the twist kind of comes in the third act, you understand why and it makes sense. And then it kind of gets like gross and body horror uh, in its presentation. And I think one reason why this really worked, and I didn't know this till after the fact, but the protagonists in this are actually a real life husband and wife, so that's probably
Oh.
why to me the chemistry between them worked really good because I wasn't really familiar with them as actors at all prior to this. Kind of went into this blind, not really knowing anyone
Hmm.
associated with this, but another thing I really like about this is the score. I think it fits with like the overall tone and mood of the movie. And I think it's been on Shutter for a couple weeks. And like the week that I watched it, I think there was like two, maybe even three horror movies in theaters. And I like this better than like all the ones I saw in theaters.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's just one of those weird weeks where like we get a bunch in the theater and they all kind of end up mediocre. And then this random thing on Shutter
Shit in
is
the
like,
bed.
ooh,
Yeah.
yeah, which is good because I feel like Shutter has kind of lacked in that area a lot more in recent years as far as like reliable new releases. It's not that they don't get new stuff, but they don't always like reach
Not
for
that
the
good.
stars when getting
Right.
stuff and putting
Right.
stuff on there. So yeah, Honey Bunch, I think it's still in like the top featured uh section when you scroll through like that part, but if not, it's definitely on the new arrivals list. So I don't know if anyone's seen it, so there's not much to like talk to other people
It's on
about,
my
but
it's on my view list.
Yeah.
I haven't
So
watched it yet.
Venom, have you happened to see this yet?
You know, I was gonna start watching it last night, and then I remembered that there were UFC fights on, so I went and watched the fights and didn't get back to the movie. So
He
I
said,
watched the
"Fuck
first
that."
7 minutes.
Yeah, that what's funny is like I left the theater last night thinking, oh, maybe I'll get home in time for the main event, and then I get a Facebook Messenger alert, and it's JP talking about what happened in the main event. I'm like, God damn it!
That's why I don't. That's why I'm not in that.
You.
I'm physically in that chat with you guys, but I don't follow it because I don't always get to watch the fights live. You know, I work, I play poker, blah blah blah. So you guys are constantly spoiling fight endings for me, so I don't pay attention to that chat anymore.
Yeah, I think it wasn't even the fight chat that he said it in either. So like I didn't
Oh.
think he was gonna say
We're in
anything.
so many chats.
That's what I was. That's what I was laughing at. I'm like, how do you know which one it is? We're on so many fucking chats together. It's insane.
Like that's why I got confused about like the last time we were going to record because I thought we were talking in fresh cuts.
Yeah, I think because it was just a fight night too, not like a numbered event. So everything was like an hour earlier. Because I think I was out of the theater around 8. And usually when it's like the numbered events, that's not when the main events are
Yeah.
starting.
Right.
But anyways, yeah, check that out if you haven't. I mean, if that sounds interesting at all. So I think Dawn actually,
I was the one that recommended it.
yeah, don't ask me why, because when I was watching it,
I thought you were gonna say Dawn was fighting. I was like,
Oh.
what? I missed that.
I would not miss that if that I would have
In the
waited for the
tank
later
top?
showing. Yeah,
Sorry.
I would have taken a rain check on the theater if Dawn
Rings
and
of
Ellie was
Nelly to
fighting
the
in
ring.
this. But no, what I was gonna say about Dawn and related to this is, as I was watching it, I thought back to like Dawn's recommendation or kind of liking it, and I was baffled because I was like, this does not seem like a Dawn and Ellie movie to me.
There's
But
no shark in it.
there's no shark. There's a lot of character development. I would consider this kind of a slow burn where a lot of like the horror.
That's like
stuff
that
is
one time when you
set
liked
up.
Relic. We were like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's what I was just
What?
about to say. That once a year, Don shocks us by liking a movie that he absolutely shouldn't, at least based on his previous reviews and things like
Right.
that. Relic is the biggest example. Like I was literally floored when he said he loved that movie. I would have bet money that he would have hated that movie because I mean Don doesn't like character studies. He's not big on like performance driven horror, yet somehow he liked Relic. So go figure.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, I'll back to Venom for his final movie.
All right, I'm going
Or
to talk about
whatever.
one movie and then I'm just going to briefly talk about a second one because Mike's already talked about it on this show, but I just wanted to reiterate Mike's point. Anyway, the last movie that I'm going to talk about in full is we have a trend recently of YouTubers getting into cinema. Most recently, we had Chris Stuckman who wrote and directed Shelby Oaks, and this next movie is the newest YouTuber to start filming feature-length films, and that is Markiplier. The I forget Mark Fishbach is his name. Online, he's Markiplier. I think that's how it's pronounced. I don't know anything about his online presence, so if I pronounce his name incorrectly, I am sorry. But this movie, of course, is Iron Lung. This one came out on some screens. It wasn't like a giant release. It wasn't on thousands of screens, but obviously living out here in LA, I'm lucky enough to get to see movies like this, though it did play at AMC's out here. So it's not like it was an ultra indie film.
Yeah, I was actually shocked I got it at my AMC.
Exactly. So Iron Lung is an odd little movie because it is very solidly Lovecraftian, and anybody who knows me knows I fucking adore anything Lovecraftian. But this movie just didn't really work for me. I enjoyed it, but the first half of the film is fairly dull. I mean, the story of the movie is Mark Fishbach plays a prisoner. The government has, and by the way, this is after a post-apocalyptic event pretty much wiped out most of the Earth. And they are now exploring, they're out in space and they're exploring some of the surrounding moons around Earth. And one of the ones that they decide to explore is basically has an ocean of blood on the surface. It's literally a blood ocean. So obviously, any Death Clock fans out there probably just got their nipples hard. I'm included. So,
You're
um,
here because you're one
so
of us.
yeah. So like I said, Markiplier plays this Khan. He is inside of an iron lung, not a literal iron lung, but basically a submersible, one of those, a submarine basically. But this is a submarine that he doesn't have full control of, obviously, because he is an inmate. They're sending him down there to try to find something, a missing ship. That basically just disappeared, basically the last probe that they sent down there. The entirety of the movie takes place inside of the iron lung, so it is a chamber piece. There is one other person on screen that we see, and that's the person that he's speaking to over the comms. We do get to meet her earlier in the film before they send him down. But ultimately, it's Markiplier's movie. It's all him in every single scene. They're all inside of the iron lung, every scene that is. And basically, there is some kind of Lovecraftian cosmic presence living inside of this blood ocean that they're trying to do tests on it. At first they think that it's dead because it looks like a skeleton. It literally looks like a giant skeleton. So they assume that it's dead and they're trying to get a bone sample off of it. But then of course it's a horror movie. We know what we're watching. The thing comes alive, and that's actually what it looks like. It looks like a fucking skeleton, a giant Lovecraftian skeleton. But like I said, I wanted to like this movie. I really do, because I generally like chamber pieces. Most recently, Brooklyn 45 was in my top 5 for that year. I fucking adore that movie. This one didn't work as much for me, and it's mainly because of the first half of the movie. The first half of the movie is just so dreadfully dull that it wasn't doing a good job of building the suspense. It was building interest, like I was interested in what they were hunting and what they were looking for, blah blah blah. But it's like once we actually are down in the depths, it just turns into almost like a psychological thriller where our main character starts to see things, he starts to hallucinate, blah blah blah. I won't get too much more into the story. I mean, I basically just told you most of the story other than the
That's
third
crazy.
But yeah, this is definitely an acquired taste for this type of movie. I think if you're a fan of Mark Fishbach, I think that you'll probably enjoy the movie. I would probably say this might be just a half a step above Shelby Oaks. I was not a big fan of Shelby Oaks. I liked the first half of the movie where it was actually found footage, but then once it went to a full, production, it just lost me. The story lost me, the characters lost me, blah blah blah. This one, at least, it's a fairly simple story. It's easy to follow. It's just a matter of, are you a fan of chamber pieces? Are you a fan of single location movies with one character on screen the whole movie? If you are, then I would recommend the movie. I'd say go ahead and check it out.
War of the Worlds with Ice Cube.
Well, yeah, but this was actually watchable. So,
Okay.
yeah, unlike War of the Worlds. So, and then
Mega.
despite the first half of the movie being a little dull, the second half definitely picks up. The second half actually has a lot more action, a lot more suspense, a lot more intrigue. So I definitely walked out of the theater, mildly happy. But like I said, that first half just needed more.
Damn.
It just, yeah.
What it needed was an editor, because it was like, to me, I mean, honestly, if I was giving what I would consider, I guess, constructive feedback or criticism or whatever, is you had maybe an 80-minute idea stretched into a nearly 2-hour movie. There was just too much in that first half that you're just slogging through the same kind of repetition over and over. I like the premise. I like the setup. I like the scenario that our main character is put in. I do think it makes for an interesting setup for a movie, but then it just doesn't really progress for an hour.
Yeah.
Like you said. I think if they would have made a much shorter running time, you could have got more out of it.
I feel like this would have been a better anthology segment. Like trim it down to 20, 25 minutes, and I would
Yeah.
have been way more on board for it.
And
Yeah, even
here,
that. I mean, I
and
would
here's
even
me
say you're
wishing it was
correct
just a
there.
movie about Method Man.
That's what I thought too.
Because I no longer tell you where you're coming from.
Oh God. Oh man. Oh, and then the one movie that I just want to talk about really briefly because Mike's already talked about it on the show, but I'm late to the party. It's a movie that Mike both talked about on this show and on the top 10 show as an honorable mention. And I just wanted to bring it up because had I seen this movie in 2025, it 100% would have been in my top 10. So I want to give the movie its props. And that is Vosh Level 2. Mike talked about that as an honorable mention on the top 10. It intrigued me. I watched it this past weekend. It is fucking awesome. I loved it. That villain is one of my favorite villains of the year. He was so goddamn cool. I just the looks that this guy made. I mean, he was born to be a villain. You know what I mean? He's kind of like David Warner. He should be a villain in every single role because he's so goddamn good at it. But anyway, it's currently on Netflix. I believe it's from Indonesia. It is a sequel, though I've never seen the first one, and I watched this one dry, and I followed it perfectly. You don't need to see the first one. I will seek it out later on just to kind of complete it. But yeah, I just wanted to say that I agree with Mike. That movie deserves high praise, and because I didn't see it last year, I didn't give my chance to, suck this movie's dick. So I'm doing it now.
What's it called?
Vosh, VASH, Level 2. It's on Netflix.
I'll check it out.
What struck me about it because I kind of threw it on a whim. I was like crunching for 2026 potentials and I think within like the first 10, 15 minutes, it seemed to go like a lot harder than this kind of subgenre usually goes. Like some of the East Asian subgenres, like they have like these kind of like dastardly premises, but what you get on screen is kind of more like generic. But this one, I mean, you're seeing just these crazy deaths of like teenagers. You're just seeing carnage in the streets, and I was just like, holy shit! Like,
oh,
where
the
the hell did this
rampage
come
is
from?
spectacular.
Yeah,
that rampage is great. Holy shit, that was awesome.
Good.
Yeah, I mean, this was the closest thing to the sadness I've gotten since 2022, so I'm happy with it.
yeah. The
Good
first
shit.
one, the first one, I think I saw, and it's a similar premise, but from memory, it's a much smaller, like contained story because
Sure.
there's that one character that is already affected from the events of the first movie, and I think it was mostly centered on like just her family, like it happening to her.
Oh, it wasn't the story of how he captured that one guy and kept him hostage. That's what I thought the first movie was going to be.
And see, that's the thing. It's like I could have been confused because like I swear the one I saw was the first Vosh, but I don't know because it's so if it's not, then there's another one that's just such a similar premise with like the charmer type character and
Yep.
all that. So I don't know, maybe like two with a similar villain came out around the same time. But if not, if it is the movie I'm thinking of, then I have seen it. And Vosh Level 2 definitely like ups the carnage and the scale for sure.
Yeah, I might check this out after I watch Death Swifter 3 that just came out.
Yeah,
watched the
I
first
saw
two of
that
those.
a couple days ago. That was good.
Yeah.
S-
Sweet.
no one's
Speaking of
chomping
me,
yeah, I was gonna
Yeah,
say no
but-
one's chomping at the bit to talk Strangers 3, I see.
oh,
Why?
speaking of Strangers 3, I saw for my next pick. I'm going to talk about Strangers Chapter 1 and 2 because those both fucking suck dog shit.
Guess how the third one is?
I kind of look. I haven't seen 3, but
That wild boar was the shit. I don't
whatever.
know
It
what
doesn't
y'all are
matter what
talking about.
Lacy Lou thinks, right? Bye.
No. Hey, if you enjoyed the first two, you'll probably enjoy the third one. That's fine.
But I wouldn't say like
Well, Nightmare on
I'm
Elm
very
Street one.
I'm very partial to the OG, right?
Oh, of course. That's great.
The second film is, you know what? It's
I hate
fine.
I hate
They
it.
were the ones who did Primate.
Yeah.
He said, "I hate it."
Oh yeah,
Like,
Pray at Night, Strangers Pray at Night. I thought was dog shit,
they
and
Same.
also
I
they
love
also
Jessica
did
Chastain,
but
but
they
Right,
also
right.
did Primate. They also did Primate. And I mean, how many scenes do we need of this director doing a pool scene, right?
Right. That's
Which,
his
I
staple
mean,
now.
Primate is basically Strangers Pray at Night.
Yep.
Well,
I mean,
Primate is
honestly.
every movie, just add a monkey. Like with
But
Scream, just add a monkey in.
but that's the
Fuck
difference.
yeah.
The difference between Primate and Strangers Pray at Night was like it's not an already known entity.
Right.
You know, so it's fine. And they both do the actual same Scream ripoff of the Jeep scene. And Strangers Pray at Night, they do it again and Primate
Right.
with the Jeep. It's the same
Right.
thing.
Same
Like
thing.
this character is just kind of ripping off my favorite franchise, which is fine. It's fine. I'm okay, everybody. Are you? Okay.
Well,
Like I'm sorry.
the more Lacey gets angry, she sounds more like Parker Posey.
Imitation is the greatest form of love. I mean,
You know what? When I was in high school, somebody said, "Can you say "ere"?" I said "ere," and they go, "Yep, I get it. I
Little
understand.
freshman piggies.
I understand. I'm Parker Posey. Okay, I
It's
get it.
okay to be Parker Posey. I love Parker
I
Posey.
know that,
That's why I'm gonna marry you.
but also I'm not the ridiculous bitch that needs Gail Weathers to hold my hand either.
My
So there's
lawyer liked that.
Not as much as I did, but sorry, I didn't mean to cut anybody off. But you know, if we're talking about those two films, they are the same director, and they're kind of just ripping off what they did, just in a different formation.
Well, those are Rennie Harlan actually that did chapter 1 and 2.
But the thing
No,
about
no,
right.
no, that's not true. Joanne
Well,
Roberts did too,
He
and they did
Pray at Night.
Primate. Yes, Pray
Okay,
at
yeah,
Night.
but we're talking
Yeah.
about the ones that Rennie Harlan did.
Not yet. We're
Yeah.
not.
Well,
Well,
yeah, I
technically
hadn't
we
gotten
weren't,
there
but
yet.
yeah,
I
sorry.
was talking
He was
about
building up to it.
I was. I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought because
Sorry.
that director did the same thing. And so, like, if we're gonna get mad at Rennie Harlan, you know, Nightmare 4,
I'm not mad at that.
I'm not mad at that either. However, I mean,
Exorcist the beginning.
the Warthog is ridiculous as fuck.
That
Let's
was a little
like,
much.
like, there's no need for that to be in a stranger's movie at all, any point, any shape, way, or form. Like, we have gone past ridiculousness.
so the boar in Send Help was better.
Well,
Did I say
It was.
did I say Send Help was boring? Did I say that?
No, I'm just
Boring.
asking that scene. I'm not talking
It
about
was
the movie. I'm just
boring.
saying the boar scene.
Oh, I thought you said boring.
No, boar
Oh,
scene.
I thought you said I
Boar
said it was
scene.
boring.
Jesus.
Yeah, it
Boar
actually
scene.
was better
Okay.
than that one.
No, I agree. I totally agree. I was just
because
asking.
it's more expected in that film as opposed to a Stranger's film where it's an isolated home invasion film versus you're on a wild island where you can run into unknown god creatures. It makes more sense in Send Help versus, you know, a Stranger's movie where it's an isolated horror film.
They are still in the woods, though, in their defense. I can't believe
Right.
I'm defending the fucking strangers.
Yeah,
How
but
dare you? What are you doing, Venom?
Yeah, what are you
What the
doing,
hell?
Venom? Come on. I
No,
see.
He's
You're
like,
playing
edit that
devil
out.
advocate. I get
You
it.
know what?
But-
You know what Rennie Harlan did with these movies though is he answered the question, and a lot of people do ask this question. Now, whether they want it answered or not is the whole thing. But should you continue the franchise? Because he started over and he did a whole other story that basically took the bare bones of the first movie and continued it and kind of also turned it into a whodunit, like who is it at one point, and turned it into all these different things that the first one wasn't necessarily, that the first one didn't have the opportunity to do, for better or worse. I'm not saying that, you know, we should have seen a fucking sequel with Liv Tyler. What I'm saying is, I don't know. I'm kind of glad that we live in a world where we can get another version of The Strangers and they can continue that story. So what if it fucking sucks? Who fucking cares if there's a boar in it? I like to play that out. That's a cool little alternate universe that I'd like to explore because we always have that original strangers and we always will hold that dear in our hearts. But this isn't even fucking connected to that. Let's just go. Give me the boars. Give me everything. Let's
Can
go.
we
Release
go
the
talk
boars.
horny
Right.
fucking teens from the 90s, please?
Before we move on, though, I just want to say
Yes.
that personally, I feel that the ambiguity of the original Strangers is part of its brilliance. I mean, the
Agreed.
first Strangers is
Agreed.
almost Lovecraftian because it's like, why did they do this shit? There's no rhyme or reason. And I love that. I don't
Right.
need my explanations handed to me on a silver platter.
Well, and
Yeah.
you actually care about the characters in the first one, to where the second one,
Valid.
they're just
Right.
like everybody's
Second
so
one's garbage.
unlikable from
Trailer
going
trash.
literally.
Sorry.
Especially when the
Guy
title of
from
the movie is
Virgin
the-
River.
when the
Like
title of the
everybody,
movie is The
like,
Strangers, they should probably remain strangers.
yeah, but like you actually kind
Right.
of care. Like she obviously turned down his proposal. Like you want to know why she turned
Right.
down Scott Speedman's program. Like, I mean, hello, Ben from Felicity, Aerosmith's daughter. Like,
Nobody
why?
got that reference, baby.
Well, I did.
Yeah.
I know him from Underworld.
Yes, exactly.
Well, that's why I broke it down. So now they get the fucking reference. Go fuck yourself.
Thank you, Lacy Lou.
Wow.
The last movie I was gonna bring
I'm
up.
bringing a lot of anger to this podcast with my picks.
we had two releases in the theater this week. One of them is gonna be for Fresh Cuts, which is Psycho Killer. So the other one
Ba, ba, ba.
is called This Is Not a Test, and it's a
Oh,
zombie movie.
Yeah.
And
oh,
I don't know if any, I'm assuming
Fuck yeah.
Venom might be the only one that might have already seen it. What I would say
Yep.
about it is I thought it was pretty well done. What people might think of it overall could depend on how many zombie movies they've already seen, because I feel like when you have a movie about teenagers, about high school age or end of high school age, and a zombie apocalypse happens, it's almost unavoidable that you're going to have a lot of the tropes we've seen, a lot of the same occurrences, same situations. I do think this one brought a couple story specific issues because they seek refuge in a high school. And so some things related to what you might think of as like going on inside of a high school we run into. And
I
I think
feel
some of the
like you
kills
just
were good
described
too.
that Freddie Prinze movie where there was like a high school shooter. Like, do you know which movie I'm talking about, Mike?
Yeah, I do.
That's what you just described. Sorry.
I would say the movie's well done. It's not like an all-time favorite zombie movie, but for what it is, if you're a fan generally of zombie movies, I would say see it. Venom, what did you think of it?
I mean, just like with found footage, I am a zombie lover. I am a zombie apologist. I will watch them all. I even like a lot of the bad ones. This one was not groundbreaking or revolutionary in any way, but it was fun enough. It kept my interest enough. It's not going to even sniff my top 10 at the end of the year, but it's a solid movie. I would say if you're a zombie completionist, go to the theater and check it out, but otherwise, wait for streaming.
I've
Can I
never
ask you
heard
guys a
anybody say it's
question?
not gonna sniff my top 10. That was
Wait,
way.
but wait,
Can I
before
ask you guys
wait,
a question? Is this where you guys like your main show? Is this where like the potential fresh cuts episodes come that is like the cutting ground floor? Because you guys watch so much bullshit.
well, it usually depends
They
because
do. I don't. That's why I'm not on Fresh
no,
Cuts.
it really has to do with the timing of of when we record, because for whatever reason this year we've just had a ton of theatrical horror. Sometimes when we record the show, it's like whatever we did for Fresh Cuts, there just isn't other stuff in the theater, so it's like we could talk about VOD sloppy trash movies, but
But
because
like,
there was
has this year been more than previous years, or has there other been years in comparison to this? I'm just curious.
as far
I
as
said
like
this.
theatrical or
Well, I mean, like theatrical or BOD.
I would say for this early
like,
in the year, it seems like we've gotten a lot more theatrical.
Yeah,
And
Oh, much more. Oh, yeah.
right.
Yeah, I mean, I remember 2 years ago in 2023, we had a lot of movies in the first like 2, 3 months of the year, but nothing like this. I mean, we've been at the theater almost every week this year, and it's the end of February,
Do
so
you
Yeah, you go
think
a lot.
do you think that horror is like I hate to say it in this way, but like up and coming to where it's more respected? And
no,
so
not at
we're gonna
all.
get
I think
more,
there's
or
Well,
do you
yeah,
think it's
Sinners
always
won
gonna
the
be the
Oscar.
same?
We're
Or
good
do you
now.
know what I mean? Like, do you think we're gonna see more?
Well,
Or
horror movies have always been a viable theatrical
yeah,
release because they're cheap to make. They're cheap to make.
Right,
If they have a good opening weekend, they make their money back and then some. They make a little bit of
right.
profit. So, I mean, all these Blumhouse movies that suck complete ass, they all make money. Go fucking figure. So, yeah.
It feels like horror is one of those genres where there is a
well,
certain
wasn't
formula that
there?
bring crowds regardless of the quality, and so it's always going to fund like your
Well,
future horror movies.
well, didn't
Right,
Blumhouse
right.
pull like their Megan spinoff or something?
Oh God, I hope so.
Yeah, yeah, they did.
Well,
No,
I remember talking to Mike last year, and he was like, the first movie that we're gonna do for Fresh Gods is a stupid Megan ripoff,
Well,
and he was like, man, I don't want to do that, But
when he
then there
get,
was
when he saw
like,
the announcement, he was probably like, "Fucking fuck
but then
this."
they
Well, good
pulled
thing
it,
it's
and he
your
was like,
show and you
why do
can
you
just
think they
not do
pulled it?
that.
yep. Just like we made the hard call to not
Right.
watch The Strangers 3, and I'm very happy with that.
Well, it's good to have options, though, right?
It
Like the
is.
fact that we're in a world right now to where you guys actually have options to
Right.
where a year or two ago that there wasn't anything. Like you literally had to go with whatever it was released that week. Now you
Yeah,
guys have options.
Well,
That's
shit.
speaking
Remember,
to
remember the
something.
back end of COVID where there was really nothing.
Oh,
So
yeah.
that was a rough period, man.
Well,
that was horrid.
I think what's cool about this current era, and I hope it like continues and even expands on what we have now, is that it seems like you're gonna get like your big studio release horror movies, but then it seems like almost every week, at least this year, maybe every other week, but you're getting kind of like that second tier horror movie that's not
Right.
it's not the $50 million ad campaign, go see this. Because I usually always look at my Regal app, even when I already know what movie I'm gonna go see, I'll just browse, and a lot of times I'll click on now playing, and I'm like, what the hell? I didn't even know half these movies were playing, but I'll give them a chance. I've
Yeah.
seen a lot of horror movies that way.
Right. Right.
But yeah, more options is always better.
Fair.
Hell yeah. Fuck yeah.
All right, now let's talk about DJ Qualls getting laid in every movie.
Yeah, I didn't really have much news for this episode. I mean, Catherine O'Hara passed away. That it was kind of more timely when we were originally gonna when we were gonna record a couple
Oh
postponements
man, are
ago,
we
but
Well, that
talking
was
about
4 years ago.
celebrity
So
deaths?
well, not every single one. We'd probably be here like another couple hours
Oh
before our
there's a
man.
lot of
but
them lately. Yeah.
Can we just get to the movies?
not before I
Yeah.
say R.I.P. Tom Noonan because he also passed,
Oh.
which sucks.
Yes,
Phoebe!
gotta say Tom Newton.
Phoebe!
Fucking
Rocks.
Manhunter, fucking
Bye.
late
House of the Devil.
phases. I mean, god
He was
damn, this
even
guy.
great in Last Action Hero.
The
Yeah,
Oh
Ripper.
the
my
only good thing
God.
about Last Action Hero.
He was the best in Last.
RoboCop
RoboCop
2.
2.
Yeah.
Oh my God. House of the Devil.
Oh yeah.
The
Hell yeah.
Roost.
The Roost.
All right, well, we made that announcement a little uplifting with our filmography of Tom Noonan, so I guess that's a good time to take a break, and we'll come back.
Phoebe!
Baby. Give
Lacey,
me Scrat.
since they were your picks, what are they? What movies are we talking about?
Mute.
Those
Like,
ones.
are you asking me?
Like
Yeah,
asking
yeah.
you, as in tell everybody. what
Introduce the
movies
movies,
we're
damn it.
talking about.
Me or Mike?
Yeah,
You, you're-
you.
you're-
Oh, whoa. You Phoebe. All right. All right. So obviously I'm Lacy Lou and I'm ridiculous.
Hmm? Hey,
Um,
man.
the last time that I was on this show, I chose Demons 1 and 2. All right.
Good picks.
And when Mike Merriman asked me if I would like to join the show again, what 2 movies would I like to do? I was drunk as fuck. And I
That
said,
explains it.
it does. And it will make sense here in a minute, folks. Yes. So, like I said, I was not born in the 90s. I was born in 87. And you know what? Necessarily, I don't even know if I like these movies. We'll find out here in a minute. But I think there was a great conversation to be had with these 2 movies that I chose. Like, I can choose a lot of films from the 90s, in my opinion. Like, I could go, I Know What You Did Last Summer, Scream, Urban Legend. That all seems basic to me. The conversation that I feel like needs to be had is the knockoff Scream films, right? But also, in the same sense, there was like this oversexed persona of, without showing tits. Like, I don't think either of these films actually show nudity, but there was this oversexed hype drive in the 90s, which was apparently knockoffs of Scream, which I don't think they even come close to. But the first film is Idle Hands, and the second is Cherry Falls. So, it's so interesting to me because I have such a unique story to when I came to watch both of these films. So I'm curious to where these guys fall. I'm the only chick on this podcast tonight. So it's going to be a very interesting combo. Yeah, so those were the 2 films. Well, I know Dan loves Idle Hands so much, and that's the only reason I brought that to the table. And then Cherry Falls, it's just an interesting discussion piece in itself. And I know both of them were like hypersexualized. Like when I was at it, I was like 10, right? And I just remember everybody talking about like how hot Brittany Murphy was, how hot Jessica Alba was.
I thought you were gonna say how hot Jay Moore was.
Oh my God. Like all I remember him being gay from Go. So
right, with Scott fucking.
What a great movie.
He fired Jerry Maguire.
like it's so interesting though.
That's
like
we should have reviewed Go.
We should have, but we didn't. Timothy the Old Fantastic. But I just thought it would be really interesting to see, where we were at when these films were released to where we are now. Like, I was a kid. And then I know some of us were teenagers, some of us were adults. Like, it's just an interesting concept of where these movies lie. And they're both considered cult classics at this point in time, are they not? Or are they?
Are they?
All right, let's find out.
Yeah, we'll find out. So we're going to take a quick break and come back with our main features. Lacy Lou's picks, everybody. We'll be back.
Dan Chase is too. But yeah.
Dan Chase is my hero.
Like I said, Lacy Lou.
He's like, he's just here.
Dan Chase is here with Derek.
So I came all the way over here. You said you was holding.
I didn't say what I was holding.
Anton Tobias never had much on his mind.
Don't you think you should have like a goal?
My dream life would be to lie around all day in bed and watch TV while some hot broad delivers me food.
And he always had time on his hands.
4 bodies have been discovered and the killer is still at large.
Until one of them got a mind of its own.
I have no control over my hands. It makes me do things I don't want it to do.
Aren't you a little old for Ding Dong Ditch?
Sorry about your bush.
I'm gonna call 911. What's the number?
I'm not the killer.
Okay. I mean, if OJ could get off, then I'm sure. You'll be here?
Now, his hand won't stop.
I don't want to hurt you. Don't!
Ew, that's disgusting.
His friends won't die.
You're dead.
Undead, actually. And there was this big bright white light at the end of a long tunnel.
So what happened?
We were like, forget that, man. It's too far.
And the only way to stop it
Idle hands are the devil's playpen, so keep my hands occupied, right?
is to keep it busy.
Freeze!
Drop the knitting needles. That's probably not a good idea. Put him down! Cuff me!
Put those needles down, young man!
Cuff me! Cuff me!
Columbia Pictures presents
The police have no leads, and the killer is still out there.
You scream like a girl.
the comedy
Careful, it's on kind of loose.
That's really starting to get on my nerves.
that dares to give scary movies
Look at me! I'm in the face!
the backhand.
What you doing, man? That's my dad. Come on.
CPR, man. I saw him Baywatch.
Did you lose something there, bud? Idle Hands. The touching story of a boy and his hand.
Kinky.
Fly for a white guy.
I remember the story like this. It was a dark and scary night, kind of like tonight.
25 years ago, a horrible crime was committed in the town of Cherry Falls. Now,
You haven't heard about Rod and Stacy?
Did they break up?
Break up! Wake up! They're dead!
what their parents hid in the past
Nobody has seen or heard of her for over 25 years.
Mom, do you know anything about a woman named Laura Lee Sherman?
No. Why?
is haunting the present.
Who is it?
Is your mom home?
No.
She didn't tell you I was coming by.
4 teenagers have been killed, a fifth viciously attacked.
All victims appeared to be virgins.
Everyone's decided to take themselves off the endangered species list and have sex.
I need to ask you a personal question. About how far you've gone, base-wise? Can you go further?
Tell me about Laura Lee Sherman. Tell me.
That was 25 years ago.
Do you think she goes all the way?
Doubt it.
You gotta come. Come on.
This is my post. I can't just split.
Cherry Falls.
Did you want your first time to be something beautiful, something romantic?
All right, we are back, and first up for our double feature is 1999's Idle Hands. And I'm just going to say that this movie came out like right when I was, I think, just out of high school. I graduated in 98, so it feels like there's always a special place in my heart for movies that feel like they took place actually when I was a teenager versus watching movies of teens from different eras. So
Right.
like a lot of the lingo, maybe the fashion, the trends, they all kind of match up with my high school experience. That'll probably always be a personal bias that doesn't connect with other people. Now, that doesn't necessarily make it a better or worse movie because of it, but it just gives you kind of like that little bout of nostalgia like every time you watch it, because it feels like a time capsule of your own experience.
Well, I mean, when you asked me to do this, you were like, what is the theme that you would connect, right? And obviously I would have gone with Wild Things, but that's not horror. It's not horror, which was
I would've did it.
98. So, and actually both of these, I believe, were released in 99. I'm so sorry. Did I cut you off?
You just got to do Wild Things for Cut to the Chase and bring us on.
Yeah, well, I mean, like Wild
Wow,
Things is
we
such
tried.
an amazing, yeah.
Oh, those are
That
some
was like
infamous
4.
episodes.
Well, you know what? We'll come back. We'll come back to that.
There was
But-
the Wild Things Part 3 episode. Some shit went down on that one that we can't even fucking. Hold on.
Actually, that never happened. We actually never recorded anything for Wild Things. We just
Uh-huh.
watched them. Dan jerked his dick, and that was it. But, anyways, guys.
It was more epic in my mind.
Yeah, it was not epic in mine.
All right. Well, let's find out who Idle Hands was epic for. So for me, I'll say the one thing with Idle Hands that
Oh, no, you can't leave me hanging on my boyfriend like that. That feels wrong. That feels wrong. Does that not feel wrong to you, Dan Chase? All right,
Oh,
we
I'm
lost
used to
Dan
it.
Chase.
I'm used to it by now.
Dan
Oh,
Chase.
are we good?
with his idle hands.
No, I need to make sure he's good. Are you good?
My idle hands are no longer idle. Yes.
All right, he's fucking fine. Carry on, Wayward Son.
Yeah, so I think what I've always appreciated about Idle Hands is it kind of feels like stoner comedy first, even over being a horror movie, but then the horror, a lot of it feels like homage to like horror that came before it. I think there's like a lot of like Sam Raimi in here, body horror, uh, zombie horror, and I think the comedic elements really harken back to other more, I guess, straight horror movies. So like for me at this time when I'm also discovering like horror movies from previous decades and then seeing this and kind of putting a comedic spin on it. And a lot of the teen cast in this are they were probably early 20s like by the time this movie came out, but this is like an ensemble. You've seen these people in so many movies in that era. Some big movies, some small movies, some ones you found at the VHS store randomly, some future stars that you didn't even know yet were going to be like big.
That sums up like Vivian A. Fox's career.
Well, no, like this is exactly why I chose this for the oversexed 90s movie. Like you guys all have something to fucking say. Me being like 10 when this movie came out, it was fucking ridiculous. This was basically Scary Movie in a different form.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
I understand.
But everybody else was like, "Oh my God, Jessica Alba, angel tits." Like it was a fucking thing.
Hey, I didn't think that. Yeah. I was a year older than you.
No, this movie was not a serious horror movie. It wasn't. Like, obviously, it was a comedy, but like at that point in time, there wasn't horror comedies. Do you know what I mean? Like, all right, so 96, 97, I have Scream 2. 98, we have Idle Hands. This is not what I'm looking for. This did not appeal to me. This is why I chose this movie. I'm being honest. Do you guys understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get you.
Would you say you like The Faculty? Because I would say The Faculty has some comedic elements too. Or
Yes,
is it kind
it
of the same
does.
boat?
But like she was naked for a reason, like her body, like you know, like she was getting used to, like she had a reason for being naked. Like Jessica Alba, no. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like,
wait, did you say that there was no horror comedies before this?
well, I mean, no, I'm saying in the 90s, in the 90s.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
No, that was
in the
90s.
90s.
Pretty slip.
I was about to drop some science on you.
Yes, I know.
That's not real.
Like Kentucky Fried Chicken, I get it.
Real.
Like, trust me, I know. But like, I'm saying for the films that we were watching at this point, like why are we making fun of this? Because it's bringing it back from the dead. So it felt, and I feel like that's why people didn't necessarily, like horror fans love, you know, Scary Movie or the Tiffany Release one. Okay, no.
Right.
Have
What?
Who?
Okay.
Why?
All right. Well, let's get into everybody's thoughts. So Venom.
Like, where were you when you seen this movie for the
What
first
was your
time?
reference
Venom?
point for this?
Where was I? I was in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I was 29 years old, and I fucking hated this movie.
Right.
I walked out of the theater so just and listen. But I don't want to talk too much shit about this movie. I mean, it's well made. It's, you know, it looks glossy. It's nice. Blah blah blah. But I am not a 90s kid. When this movie came out, I was 29 years old, about to turn 30. So this is solidly not my decade. But I will say that as a product of the 90s, it's a solid movie. I don't. It's not for me.
Venom. I'm sorry. I don't mean to cut you off, but like I wasn't even the target audience for this. But being somebody from 96 that is now gung-ho on horror, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, is this the way that you go to continue? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Well, it's a path. I mean, that's the thing is Scream is going to create multiple paths. Not every Scream ripoff is going to follow the formula correctly, exactly.
I don't feel like this is a Scream ripoff. I
No,
feel
no,
like this was a
but
ripoff of a lot of films.
oh yeah, but I mean, it's got that the youthful cast. I mean, I could picture everyone in this movie in a different Scream movie if I needed
Like,
to.
I
could
don't
see
like
Jessica
this
Alba.
movie either, and
Right.
I know I'm a different generation than you, so it's curious to me to like if it's why we don't like it the same.
Well, I don't like it I don't like the story very much. I don't like Devon Sawa in this movie. I also hate the representation of stoners. Once again, I've spent the last 10 years railing against Hollywood's representation of stoners in movies. And
I need me spinach. What do you mean?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's just one of those things where cinematic stoners are always these lazy losers who do nothing, and I understand that that's realistic. There are a lot of stoners like that out there, but man, wouldn't it be great if somebody could actually make a movie that had functional stoners in it? People that can actually do a job, people that could actually think logically and still enjoy cannabis. I mean, because I know for a fucking fact that is realistic. I know at least a couple of dozen very functional stoners. I mean, people that are, high up in the industry. Like I know a couple of teachers, I know a principal, and I know multiple like VPs of marketing that are all daily smokers, but they're functional, they're smart. So like I said, it's just
he's a principal. He probably smokes swag. Fuck that guy. But
probably he's probably getting it from the high schoolers. So yeah, it's probably garbage.
I'm just playing. But that's the thing though. It's 90s. It's quintessential fucking 90s. That was the image then. And I'm agreeing with you exactly with what you just said. But in the 90s, that was the poster child for it. So like they didn't get it wrong. They were just that's what that was in the 90s. But I agree exactly with what you're saying is as a stoner myself, like fuck that. I rail against that shit too because the stoner depictions in movies is atrocious. Sorry.
But I also don't like in a movie like this, I think to me it's less because I totally get what you're saying about like the realistic depiction. But to me, these are just like teenagers with nothing to do.
Right. Yeah.
Even if they weren't getting stoned, they're still just kind of teenagers with nothing to do.
No, but that was part of the plot as well, though. Idle Hands of the Devil's Playground. It was the allegory for pot and everything, and that was the whole thing of he needed to get his shit together, at least enough to get some ass from Jessica Alba, which is the whole plot of the movie. But also, isn't that really the plot of every fucking high school fucking kid? So for me,
Jessica Alba, yes,
Jessica Alba, 100%. But like as you're a kid seeing it, you can totally look around and be like, I can see how everybody would fucking hate this movie.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate it. I just don't like it. It's just not for me.
Right.
Other issues I have with it is just Devon Sawa's character. Like, here is this handsome kid, and he is, I'm confident in my masculinity that I can compliment a man's looks. And Devon Sawa, when he was young,
all I can tell you is he literally is wearing a t-shirt with blood soaked on it. This movie makes zero fucking sense. This movie is the stupidest fucking movie that I've ever fucking seen that Dan loves. There is a reason I chose this fucking movie. This movie's god awful.
So me and Dan can gush on it, right, Dan? Let's go.
No, this movie's fucking horrible.
Are you done?
Like Venom.
He has a Halloween costume.
Go.
I won't say this movie's fucking horrible. I don't like it at all. I think I laughed once through the whole movie. I mean, this is a horror comedy that leans into the comedy, and I barely chuckled once. And it's really, and it's Seth Green. I mean, Seth Green is the only person that gets a reaction out of me from this movie. Well, Jessica Alba gets a different kind of reaction from me, but Seth Green,
Right,
I've always liked Seth Green.
You guys do your show tonight. Goodbye.
Like I said, I like Seth Green. I like a lot of what he did in here. When those two cops got killed, I thought that was legitimately funny. One of the cops being Sean Whalen, of course, who I fucking love. Right. So, it's always great to see him. But yeah, back to Devon Sawa. It's like, here is this good-looking stoner kid who can't build up the courage to talk to a girl that he lives right next to. That's unrealistic because my friends, every stoner that I knew in high school had no problem walking up to girls and just start chatting them away. Hell, I mean, our first move as stoners is to find out if a girl smokes. If there's a girl that we like who we feel is out of our league, we're still going to walk up to her and say, hey, you smoke? You want to have a quick puff or whatever? If she says no, then you go on to the next one. Does she drink? Does she party at all? Blah, blah, blah. The point is, you're representing this kid who is a fairly handsome kid, a stoner, who shouldn't have confidence issues, and they turn him into they're trying to make him a nerd. And that's where I feel the movie fails. He's fucking not a nerd or a goof or a loser. Yes, I guess I can accept loser a little bit, but that representation of it just bothered me. And then let's just talk about the little bit of horror that we get in here. Like, yes, there is a solid horror story in here, but it's not enough for me. I really wanted to see a little bit more, with the hand a little bit more. And I wanted to see more with the hand still attached to Devon Sawa. I thought they cut it off a little early in the movie. I would have liked to have seen at least a little bit more.
Like Venom. Like, there are other movies that we've watched together and we've talked about. But I mean, this one has quite a bit of blood splatter.
Oh no, it's a juicy movie. I mean, it's not not the level of gore that I'm looking for.
He literally rips off the Offspring's head.
I understand. I totally understand. But usually horror comedies really lean into the silly gore. Like stuff like Shaun of the Dead, stuff like What We Do in the Shadows.
Didn't he do it with Seth Green or, Daredevil's sidekick?
Headless Kid was mildly entertaining.
And he's wearing the bloody t-shirt while he is fucking Jennifer Alba. Is that her name? Jessica Alba, sorry.
Is that her cousin?
Her cousin.
I'll date Jennifer Alba. That's fine. As long as I can get into that family.
Yeah.
That's fair. But do you know,
I'll be
this movie's gross as fuck. I don't like it. I don't consider it in this Scream genre.
No, it's an outlier. It's definitely an outlier. But when I say it's a product of Scream's popularity, what I mean is that it's a high school cast. It's a slasher.
Even
it's got a little.
Has, like,
but it's actually not a slasher. It's a demented film.
It's a supernatural slasher, but it's still a slasher.
Well,
supernatural body horror.
Yeah.
Look, I hate the fact that it has that comparison. Horror. Do you know what I mean, though? Like, because it's not in the same realm. Like, it's not as smart.
Absolutely
it's
right.
not fair to class.
I'm not classifying it as a Scream ripoff.
Yeah,
what I'm saying is that it is a product of Scream's popularity. Because Scream reinvigorated horror in theaters, especially with a youthful audience, we start getting more of these, the urban legends, the I Know What You Did Last Summer. And I solidly put Idle Hands in that same category because it is a youthful cast, high school oriented. It's kind of sex driven. I know the Scream movies aren't as sexually driven as some of the 90s slashers. But
can I ask you a question?
Would you settle for PG-13?
Okay, so obviously I grew up in the Blockbuster era, right?
Mm-hmm.
So where product placement was primal.
Yeah, everywhere.
I don't know if primal is the right word, but I feel like you get it. You know what I mean? I mean, I feel like 06 was like the last good year of Blockbuster. You know what I mean? 96. This is 10 years way earlier, which is what we're talking about, where Scream was placed. But obviously, Scream came out in December, so obviously this would have been like a June release if we're really thinking about it back to the 90s, because it was still in theaters.
Math problem you're working out.
Well, no, it's really not, because like in the 90s, movies were not put out on shelves until 6 months after they're in.
Good point.
Oh, valid.
That's
Yeah.
Good
The
point.
video, yeah, the whole video, the window of rentals. Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
yeah. So
Yeah,
we're like
yeah.
in summer,
Good point.
which is a great period of time for little bitches to have their sleepovers and show this movie. You know what I mean?
Right. No,
Like
and that's
it's
what I
a
mean.
fucking thing.
Right. That's what I mean when I say this movie is a product of the 90s. 90s kids, a lot of them seem to really like it. They kind of relate to a lot of the
But it's
characters
also
here.
a Halloween film that people like.
Yeah.
Like Venom. Like I don't like this movie. I don't. Like
I
Dan
caught
loves
that.
it.
I didn't get that until just now.
Fuck
Yeah,
Dan.
I knew the first time.
I don't. He loves this fucking movie.
Okay.
He does not like the next movie, and that's why I chose it.
Wait,
because
on
everybody
on the
says
topic of being post Scream, what I would say is it's not a post Scream slasher movie. What it is, if we're relating it to Scream, I would say Scream changed the formula of like horror movies going after like a known kind of cast of people.
Well, I don't think
where
Scream had to
audiences
do
know.
anything. I think that people were trying to come at Scream.
No, I'm talking post like the effect Scream had on the genre of the
Yeah.
90s going forward. Idle Hands is
That's
nothing
fair.
like Scream. It just
Oh no.
But
I would say the main thing that's similar is they went after a cast of like people that the youth already kind of knew. Unlike the 80s
Yeah,
slashers where like a
popular
lot of
names.
times you didn't even know who these people were when
Yep.
they showed up in your slasher movie. They might have a career afterwards, but they weren't established, where Scream kind of said, hey, why don't we pull some established people, and it worked.
Dan Jace, how do you feel about our
You guys are funny. You guys are cute. You guys are hilarious. No, so you guys are talking about this like weird perspective that you guys are not a part of, and I 100% like see it from that fucking angle because I hear it all the time with Friday the 13th, with Nightmare on Elm Street. I missed all of them. Like I wasn't on that fucking train. Scream was my fucking train. Idle Hands was right in my fucking pocket, so much so that I'm kind of offended, but I'm not mad because I know that y'all aren't being vindictive about it because y'all
No,
weren't
we're
there.
not being
No, but
vindictive. We
I'm
just
saying
weren't
though.
there,
Wait,
you
hold on. I
dick.
love Idle
No, you
Hands,
definitely
so
were not
me
there.
and Dan are on the
100%.
island on this.
Yeah,
Well, I don't know
yeah.
if Derek
There's
hasn't really
still
said.
there's
Listen,
still a couple of
Listen,
people that haven't spoken.
listen. When somebody
I
says they're
wasn't
30
five,
years
that's
old
okay.
and they're seeing a stoner fucking comedy, I respect that. And he knows that he's not going to fucking like that. I totally respect that.
Yeah.
And I'm hearing everybody's perspective. Now I'm telling you, I was what, 11? 12, 13 years old when fucking Scream came out. This movie as well. I'm a fucking stoner. Obviously, you guys know me. You guys know my fucking name. Of course, this movie was fucking everything to me. It was everything. You think I gave a fuck about the fucking cast at 11, 12 fucking years old? You think I cared about
Bro,
the cast of Scream? Dude, I
cared.
went to
You
that shit
definitely
because I love
cared. It
horror
was
movies.
Jennifer
This isn't
fucking Alba in a fucking angel costume. Go fuck
Well,
yourself.
I
You
don't know if
cared.
11-year-old. Well, when I say the cast of no, I'm talking about like the people that would like go to the theater, like not because
Well,
like
even on the box art, it's all the famous actors on it, like usually like a flown
That
heads
you
cover.
guys are trying to defend whatever this is, but yeah, he
well, I'm not
loved Jessica
defending.
Alba
I like
and her
Idle Hands.
white
That's kind of
titties.
what we do. We try to defend movies even when they're bad, even if we don't like them. Because I don't want to be that podcaster that just comes on and says, I hate this movie, it sucks, and then walk away from the mic. I want to give valid reasons why it didn't work for me. So I try to not use words like hate and dumpster fire and shit like that. Even though I did call a movie trash earlier, but still, I try not to do
I think
that.
I called a movie a dumpster fire once.
Yeah.
No,
Absolutely.
I think Dan would just like to explain his love for Idle Hands.
Right. And I'm just trying to explain.
But
I'm
it
just
was
trying to
you
explain where I'm.
specifically, Lacy Lou, that interrupted me like very rudely. So if you allow me to explain it, I will so eloquently do that. But if you interrupt me, I'll shut the shit down. So how about that? So again, 11, 12 years old, Idle Hands. Of course, I'm a fucking stoner. That is my shit. I don't care about actors at this point. I don't care about anything. I just know that like Scream changed my life and it put me on a trajectory. This movie is not a spoof movie. This isn't a scary movie. This is a
No.
horror comedy, more of in the vein of, like Lacy Lou said, something like a Evil Dead, Sam Raimi type of kind of fun horror comedy. It doesn't have to follow anything. It was during that weird time in the 90s where there was a lot of those movies that like wasn't specifically off of everything. A lot of those you can trace back, like, okay, clearly Nightmare on Elm Street, clearly like Friday the 13th ripoff, or, influenced by that. These movies are a result of that for sure, but not directly or whatever. So think of somebody that is that age in the 90s, right? So you've missed the 80s, you've missed all the Elm Streets, you've missed all the fucking fun shit. Well, Scream comes along and that fucking completely changed my life. But at the same time, like I'm curating like my love of cinema, so I'm watching movies like Dazed and Confused. I'm watching all these other movies too. And obviously Idle Hands is not the best movie by any means, but it was everything to me for a kid growing up as a stoner comedy. And I know you guys mentioned it, but that is a fantastic, fucking tastic Halloween movie as well. It was everything to me. But more importantly, I see it for what it is, and I understand that like anybody out of that wheelhouse is not gonna dig it. And I'm not trying to fucking convert anybody to like it, and I'm not trying to like, oh, dude, you gotta see this movie. But this is definitely my motherfucking jam. Like, I love it. People fucking talk shit about this movie all day, as you should. But like, as you guys know more than anyone, it definitely hits that nostalgic fucking funny bone for a very specific type of person, and that person is me in this instance.
Yeah, just like you're talking about how this movie spoke to you in the 90s, there's a whole slew of movies that spoke to me in the 80s,
Right.
and not good ones either. I use the same example every time I have this conversation. Saturday the 14th. Saturday the 14th is objectively an awful film. It's not good. But because I saw it back in 81 when it was brand new and I was 11 years old, it spoke to me. It stuck with me. And I can still watch it and enjoy it, but I can still admit it's just not great. That's another product of its decade. The 80s, yes, they had great horror, but they had a lot of shitty horror too. But if you're a kid in that decade, certain art forms are going to speak to you more than others. Idle Hands obviously speaks to Dan the way Saturday the 14th spoke to me. And I would never try to defend Saturday the 14th. Like I said, objectively bad, but I love it. I absolutely love it. So yeah,
so
I know
stupid.
I think we all have those types of movies, you know what I mean? Like,
But look at what Devin Sawa did right after this, and like, let's honestly talk about that for a second. Final Destination, dude, are you kidding me? We're still talking about Final Destination 20 fucking 6 years later.
Slackers.
Dude, well, that right, but do you know what I'm saying though? Like, in terms of like my horror getting into it, that trajectory was fucking fantastic. And it's not that I get pissed, but I do think that a lot of people overlook people that did grow up in the 90s. We're not that fucking desolate. We were actually in pretty fucking good position, except there were a few shitty years in the 90s. And even that's debatable by a lot of people. But there's always this argument in the 90s, and it's like, well, wait a minute.
It's like we
that
need to
started so much
compare.
greatness right there for me.
Well, yeah,
and
but
it wasn't the best, but it was the start of it for me.
Absolutely. I totally agree. I mean, the 90s has the most Oscar-winning horror movie ever in Silence of the Lambs. And that's a product of the 90s, and I fucking adore that movie. I don't like to talk shit about whole decades like, oh, the 90s aren't as good as the 80s. No, the 90s just didn't speak to me the way the 80s spoke to me. That's all. I am a product of the 80s. Dan is a product of the 90s, and there's nothing wrong either way.
Well,
And
he's actually a product of the 80s, but he grew up in the 90s. There's a difference. Like,
well, I mean, I was born in 1970, but I don't consider myself a 70s kid. I'm an 80s
I grew up
kid.
I was born in 87, and I'm so proud that The Lost Boys came out in 87. You know what I mean? Like, it's a thing.
Yeah, but like there's also movies like when we were just watching all those Friday the 13th movies, baby. Like same thing. Like that isn't I adopted that shit. Like I am a horror
No,
child. Like thank
there
you
is
for
a big
blessing me with
difference.
that.
Like we
Right.
literally watched the first 4 Friday the 13th movies, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so fucking annoyed. Like you're
Well.
you know, and then
Yeah, that's cool.
but we literally just watched Screams 6 Scream films and didn't care about any of it. Like there's a difference of the age, or like I don't know, like Venom, do you think you could sit through 6 Scream films?
I could sit through 12 Friday the 13th movies. So yeah, I think I could do 6 Scream movies.
Yeah, but would you be annoyed?
Oh, I mean, there would be scenes that would piss me off and cringy
But do
line
you see
deliveries.
What I'm like?
Absolutely.
But
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Scream, it just feels very cohesive where Friday the 13th is not.
Right. And so
until they make Ghostface in space.
He goes,
Well,
he's like, let me tell you something, Lacy Lou.
I mean, Friday the 13th, you could make the arguments that the first 5 movies are all the same movie. So I don't know how it could get more cohesive than that.
But do we want to watch the same movie 5 times in a row?
But it's
And
also
that was your big argument to where you said Scream 6 is something different. Is
How do
it
we
though?
turn this into Scream,
Right.
though?
Scream 6 different.
At least the setting is different. I thought the bodega scene was spectacular. There are scenes in that movie that absolutely worked for me. Doing the ladder climb across the 2 buildings. Like there's multiple.
Can you like this film if you don't like the original?
How can I like? Wait, what?
Like, do you think there are franchises out there to where you don't like the original, but you like the sequel?
Get the whiteboard out. We got to connect some dots here.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, first of all, I love the original Scream.
I know you do. I know.
Okay,
like
just making
he's
sure.
like, stop there.
But do you understand what I'm saying? Like, you can't like a sequel if you don't like the original, in my opinion. Like, because it sets
It
it all
sounds
up.
like I'm in a Scream
Like,
fucking
there's
movie
no
right now.
way that you can like something from the jump or not like something from the jump, but then you go 30 years later and now all of a sudden you like it. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, I know people that love the Friday the 13th franchise, but don't like the original because it's not Jason. Like they're Jason fans. They are Jason stans. They want to see Jason kill people. As far as the quality of the film, no, I think the first one is just as good as the second. Second might be even a little better, actually. But I understand what Lacey's saying, that it's not the norm. It's definitely not the norm that an original sucks and the sequel suddenly pulls in massive audiences. No. But
no, you're
I'm
not
sure
like
if we
Don
sat down and thought about
Nelly
it.
and says the 6th film is the best film out of the entire franchise.
Well, that's his favorite. I don't think he said best. We try not to say best on this show.
Okay, that's
Favorites,
fair.
favorites.
Okay,
And
that's
it's
why
Don
I
and
broke
Nelly, so-
down today. I literally broke down. Like, you literally have to break down Scream into different segments, right? Like, is it scary? Is it comedy? Like, and then we do, like, which timeline do we like of Halloween best?
The original.
That's a fucking rabbit hole. I don't want to go down.
But no, I'm not trying to, but I'm just saying, like,
the one that
like
ends
there
after
are
3.
franchises like no, people are so consumed with like, all right, we want original content, but also at the same time people like feeling at home.
No, that comfort food. It's the very nature of comfort.
Like, do you think
food.
that's important for horror?
In the long run, yes. In the short term, no.
Or for the genre,
Like
as a
money
whole?
wise. But you know what? The best thing about horror is that it all becomes cult classics.
Yeah.
Well, almost all.
Well,
Yeah,
a
almost.
lot of them find a secondary audience once they hit VOD, which used to be the VHS store, but now it's VOD.
Which is what happened with Idle Hands, guys.
Oh yeah, Idle Hands was a theatrical flop. Absolutely.
Yeah.
How much did it make? Does anybody know?
Oh, I forgot. I looked it up. It lost
I
money.
thought you had your notes.
As far as like horror in your formative years that kind of create your fandom, it also kind of depends because for my timeline, technically speaking, Scream came out when I was 16. So in theory, that would create like my formative years. The problem is I had already been watching horror where like
Right.
an old classmate of mine,
We all started early.
Scream is their favorite franchise because Scream was really where they first started watching horror, where I had been watching slashers from renting them at the VHS store. So Scream to me was like the next one, where for them it was like
Right.
the slasher. And this is coming from someone that thinks the original is a classic. So it's has nothing, it's
Absolutely.
no bad mark on Scream. It's just that I had already been watching horror, so like
It
Scream
wasn't yours.
it wasn't like the landmark of like, oh, what is this, you know?
Right.
Sure.
Right.
So it's not always just your age. It's like, well, where was your horror fandom like going into that?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
that's valid.
I agree.
100% valid.
Yep.
To answer Lacy Lou's question, Idle Hands had a production cost of $25 million.
Oh,
It only made 4.1 in theaters.
Oh, so
that is a massive flop. Massive.
I remember seeing ads for this all the time on TV when it was first coming out too.
I remember the I am
99,
Leatherface
Venom?
part from the
Venom, was it 98 or 99?
99.
May 2nd, 1999.
Okay.
Even
And I
Fred
believe the
Willard
next
couldn't
film
save
that
this
we're going
movie.
to talk about was 99 as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for mentioning that, Dan. The fact that this movie has one of the greatest actors ever in it, in Mr. Fred Willard,
Right.
so that made me smile.
Yeah, that was
the
the best
opener,
part.
right? I love it. I love it. No,
Like, do you guys consider this in the same realm as like an actual horror movie, or is this
No.
like the scary movie category of films?
Ooh. Well, Scary Movie is a straight parody. I mean, if this is a
But
parody.
I feel like this is. I feel
Do you
like
feel
this
like
guess you could
Evil
say-
Dead 2, baby, is like real horror because it's like the same shit. It's the same shit as like Evil Dead 2. It's the same
Yeah,
sloppy
you're not wrong, but it's
Right.
not horror to me.
Okay.
Yeah, like I would
Yeah.
liken this one to The Hand. I don't know if anybody ever saw The Hand from the 70s.
I never
where-
saw that. No.
Yeah,
but,
it's basically the same story. You know, a guy's
Right.
hand gets possessed, he cuts it off, it goes
Alright.
on its own.
We have 5 people here, so we're
Yeah.
gonna take a legitimate vote. Is Idle Hands horror or scary movie-ish?
It's more horror than
Horror.
scary movie.
Or
I think
it has a genuinely.
it's not a
scary
parody.
This
element.
is a fucking comedy horror.
It doesn't
Yes.
have fucking Ghostface doing what's up.
Right.
No.
But that's what this is. Like,
Hey,
I'm sorry,
Duque,
she's like
pick
literally
up the
making
phone.
out with him while he has a dirty ass t-shirt on. There is no way
I
in
think
the
it was-
real world Jessica Alba would fall for
She thought it
this
was a Halloween
fucking cut.
costume, I thought.
No,
Yeah, she thought it was his
the,
costume.
the entire movie.
I mean, she didn't even notice his hand was cut off till the end of the movie. She's not very
Right.
observant.
So
Right.
stupid.
She's playing her character
So,
from Never Been
no,
Kissed.
I do not like this movie. I am saying
She didn't
Dan
even
loves
know
it.
she had
That's why we
herpes.
picked it.
It's okay,
Oh
it's
my
okay
God,
to be
this-
wrong, Lacey, because I like this movie.
I love this movie.
Yeah, Derek hasn't said shit. Derek, jump
It's
into
not
it, man.
Ah, God damn it.
This is the horror comedy.
Look at
this
me,
is
I'm
in the same
Leatherface.
realm
Idle
of
Derek.
scary movie.
I'm in.
There's not a
Mike Marion, please back me up.
It doesn't have little. It doesn't
Scary
have
movie
little.
is a spoof.
It doesn't have
That
Chris
is-
Elliott
This
with
is
his
a
little
spoof.
hand, like a hello there, children.
Oh
is not a
my
spoof, though.
God.
It is a horror comedy, yes, and it is
No,
on the
this is a
extreme side, but
comedy
this is not a
horror.
spoof.
I think some of
No
the
different
some of the
than
physical
Hard Eyes.
some of the
No.
physical stuff is like you could say it's a homage to like
Hell,
Evil Dead
plus-
2.
Oh man,
But not
you
a
guys,
spoof.
this is
Plus, I
this
love
is
the
a
hand.
comedy movie. This is not a horror movie. Ah.
It's
Okay,
not. It's my
baby.
sister and my daughter.
It's as much as a horror movie as Hubie Halloween is.
Are you saying this is as much of a horror movie as Scream is?
As Hubie Halloween.
No, that's not what I
Scream.
asked you, little fuck.
Yeah, what the
No
fuck?
one said that.
What is going on?
Nobody ever said that. Well, nobody would ever.
No, there's
compare
a
those
big. I just did because this
'Cause
is
you're
one of those
insane.
movies
'cause
that
you
people
lost your
say
goddamn
no.
mind, and
No,
because you're fucking super hot that you think you can just say crazy shit.
no, you don't even let me finish talking, so
Go
that's
ahead.
fine.
Go ahead.
No, a lot of people say this is one of the films that ripped off Scream.
Nobody said that.
People have said that.
Who?
Oh my God, go on the internet.
Yeah, Like I said, I was just saying that this movie piggybacked on the popularity of Scream. It has nothing similar with Scream, but like my perfect example would be if Scream didn't exist, this
Right.
movie would have gone straight to video. It would not have gone to theaters. But because Scream was such a massive hit in 96 and 97, Idle Hands went to theaters and it flopped anyway. So
right.
that's the
Well,
point I'm
I
trying to
love
make.
that you thank you so much for explaining that as well as I couldn't. Thank you.
Oh, it's the
No,
same.
because
I
that's
put
what
this
I
in the
was
same
trying to say.
category
But
as the
also though, Idle Hands is the ultimate stoner blockbuster go rent movie.
Well,
and
it was if you want to fuck Jessica Alba.
right, correct.
Well, I
and
mean,
that's what it became for me. Yes, 100%.
as the kid from the Mighty Ducks in it.
That's where I'm saying it was oversexed, ridiculous. Do you get it now, Venom?
I don't really think it's oversexed that much though. This movie,
it's not.
What do you
It's like properly sexed.
I think Slacker
Right.
is.
It's-
I think.
Oh my!
Because I mean, almost every
Oh my god!
movie,
Nobody would
there's gonna
like
be
this
guys
movie if
wanting to have
Jessica
sex with
Alba
the hot
wasn't
girl.
in it.
Correct.
Nobody
and if
would
her
like
booty-
this movie if she wasn't in it.
I didn't even know who Jessica Alba was when I first saw
Because
this.
this movie is fucking the stupidest movie I've ever fucking seen in my goddamn life.
Ever?
Tell us how you
Ever?
fucking
Wow.
feel,
Oh my
baby.
god, it's so fucking horrible.
Well,
I've
then
seen
let's
worse
just get
movies
Jay
this week.
Moore in a
Like
fucking
literally,
wig.
it's the Brady
I
Bunch
want
with
Jay-
idle
no.
hands.
No, I want Jay Moore in a fucking wig, and you tell me that's better.
It is so much better. It's like
Moore in a
Sleepaway
fucking
Camp
wig is
for a
not
new
better.
generation. You're welcome.
This has fucking, you know,
Offspring.
Right, Offspring. You got fucking.
Where he
Jason-
gets his head ripped off for being stupid.
He's
That's
not the
killing
only
the
guy who
movie.
got his head ripped off.
Yeah, it's a great kill.
All right.
There was.
The,
And you know what?
The hand's
Okay.
actually the same hand.
Nobody agrees with me
No.
on this. I'm out.
Nobody. Absolutely
No,
nobody. And not
nobody.
only that.
All right, then I'm out.
Not only that,
Venom,
but
do you agree with me?
I agree with about 80% of what you're saying. Yes.
Mike?
This is also though.
All right, I'm out then. Bye.
This is also around the same time that like Hocus Pocus came out, and that scene also ends with like a big fucking song number at the end or whatever. So
I put a spell on you.
yeah, right. So they represented like two sides of the coin to me, where it's like Hocus Pocus was like the PG version, and this was obviously the PG-13 version, and also with like weed and shit like that. But
yeah,
again, at its core, and obviously besides it being a horror comedy, and it is debatable. I get what you're saying, baby. I do. I really do. It's like it's so stupid that it is borderline, but to me, it's always just been a fun Halloween movie, and Halloween movies never meet like normal movie criteria. They're always so stupid, and they're always just for fun, for comfort, for just like a good time. And it just so happens that I absolutely 100% love marijuana, so this just happens to coincide with that as well. So yeah, like
the root of it is a stoner comedy, so like
Right.
that
Well,
shouldn't be lost. So
Thank
when we
you.
say like it's stupid, like most stoner comedies do have a streak of stupid in them that makes them funny, but then this one injects like horror stuff into it.
Yeah, it's like
that might have been the
bunch of-
smartest thing you ever said.
Yeah, it's like if a stoner comedy
Ever.
ends up fucking taking a derail to like a horror movie. You know what I mean?
Right. But to me, it's all those things. It's a stoner comedy. It's obviously over the top like horror comedy, but it's a Halloween movie. It's all those things. It was fun. I never once thought though that like
And it has the guy from Meet the Deedles in it.
right, exactly. Right. And not Paul Walker. But yeah.
R.I.P.
Yeah, exactly. So that's where I stand on it. I totally understand how it's not in everybody's wheelhouse and it's stupid, but it does hit that nerve. It hits that funny bone of the 90s where it was just that stupid, like almost like Beavis and Butthead. I feel like he was watching Beavis and Butthead or like Rob Zombie videos or something. It was so 90s quintessential through and through that it's actually a really nice time capsule, but it's not a good movie. Yeah.
I took that the whole scene in the kitchen when he's fighting his hand and then eventually severing. To me, it wasn't a spoof. It was like a homage to Evil Dead 2 when that's happening to Ash. And to me, what I like when I see horror comedies do that, it tells me that like the makers of it actually are horror fans at heart because they are treating kind of like the source material with like some appreciation to say, hey, we're going to put a spin on it, but it's kind of obvious like where we got some of these ideas from. And I like when they put their own spin and they do it well.
All right. Cool fact. The Hand is played by the same guy who played the thing in fucking the Addams Family movies.
No fucking way.
Yeah.
That
Makes sense because the Hand is good in Idle Hands, like it
The
is.
best actor of the movie.
Especially when you think it's toast after the microwave and then it escapes.
But he's doing Morse code with the cereal in the Addams Family. Send help, Morticia.
I don't even know if we brought up yet that Vivica A. Fox is in this.
Right.
She's usually
like
hit or
it's
miss
time
for
for
me.
the ritualistic sex. It's like, what? No, I mean, yeah, and that's one of her first roles, and that reminds me too because another movie that I read back in the '90s was Booty Call with Jamie Foxx. Remember that
All
one?
right,
Probably
you guys are so far from horror. I'm gonna bring it back. No, we're not gonna talk about Booty Call. We're gonna bring it back to horror. Thank you.
Booty Call
All
is a
right.
horror movie.
Right.
Lacey,
right,
is that your signal for Cherry Falls discussion?
I'm gonna end it with my conversation on Idle Hands real quick.
Okay.
What was so fun about this movie to me was because I was a big fan of the Brady Bunch movie, and the guy that is trying with Vivica A. Fox is obviously the son, and Brady Bunch. Whatever.
Wait, what happened?
What do you mean?
I'm so confused.
Well, Eric, I believe his name was Eric, right? With the redheaded chick.
Oh, that guy. I'm sorry. Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
he
him.
is.
Okay.
He is.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Like the biggest downfall of this movie, and the same with it's kind of in the realm of Ready or Not, is how I would classify Idle Hands today. Like when they do the poof, like when it has the the mallard stuck into Seth Green's chest and it just goes poof. And then but with Ready or Not, which should have been a standalone film. It should have fucking been a standalone film. I don't know if you guys agree. I think we'll all have a great time watching it, but I don't think it's going to be at the same capacity. I just don't. Just like how I felt with Scream 5 and Scream 6. Bye. Nobody cares how I felt. But Derek, go ahead.
It was the ba at the end that got me.
Force Ghost Billy Loomis was the bomb, yo.
Nobody was talking about Billy Loomis. What do you mean?
You said Scream 5 and 6.
Billy Loomis threw a knife at me the other day in Texas Chainsaw. He threw a knife right at me.
Oh my god, have you guys played that game?
Texas Chainsaw game?
They have Skeet Ulrich as a character in there, and he's
really,
and he throws knives at you. Yeah, he threw a knife at me, and he got me.
Oh,
I don't know. I don't want to talk
Okay, anyways, I forgot what I was saying. That was important.
I think we should just move on to the next movie.
Well, no, all right. So this movie, is very influential. I feel like if this movie didn't exist, Scary Movie would not. You're welcome.
Oh wow! You know what? Then you're welcome, Scary Movie.
Yeah, I'll allow it.
Right?
Yeah.
Thank you. Bam, go.
There we go.
Cherry
That's
Falls.
a compromise.
Cherry Falls.
Yeah, Cherry Falls. Let's go fucking incest Michael Bean.
All right, also 1999, starring Brittany Murphy, rest in peace, Jay Moore, and Michael Bean. We have, this would be classified as a whodunit slasher. I guess we can go round robin on this. Venom.
Did you just really ask the question? Is this classified as a whodunit slasher?
Oh my god.
No, it actually is on IMDb.
Yeah.
Thank you. But did he not just ask that question?
Mike didn't believe it. He's like, I guess.
Mike knew the killer the whole time.
We
was
just
not
know
convinced.
it's Jay Moore's stupid face and a
Throw
wig.
a wig on Jay Moore, I guess.
Yeah.
Go on, Venom.
Changing his looks.
All
Venom,
right.
what? Cherry Falls.
All right. Well, first and foremost, this was a first time watch for me. I had never seen Cherry Falls. I just in the 90s, I didn't really seek out this type of horror. The kind of the whodunit slasher of the 90s. I've grown to love that subgenre of horror. The urban legends and the I Know What You Did Last Summer is like I actually enjoy all of them to varying degrees. This one being a new one that I had never seen, I kind of tried to reserve my expectations because I expected to hate this
What
movie.
do you mean you've never seen? Like this was your first time?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
First time watch.
Sorry, I just need to clarify. Sorry.
Yeah.
You wanted to make that pun.
No, well, I mean, everybody wants to be fucked, but yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
But yeah, so on first watch in 2026, I'm going to say I actually enjoyed this movie. The mystery wasn't. I figured out who the killer was 15 minutes into the movie, and I wasn't trying to figure out who the killer was. I think this movie tipped its hat a little early. The scene in the lunchroom where that girl got accused of giving that one guy a BJ, and the guy went off with the principal, and then the girl went off with Jay Moore right there. And then the very next scene is that girl getting murdered. So literally they tip their hat and they're like, okay, it's either the principal or Jay Moore. Like we already know that. As the movie went along,
That's
obviously
fair as fuck.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just voicing what I experienced on this.
Pointing out the obvious.
Yeah, exactly. Now, like I said, I actually enjoyed this movie because I liked that it was different. Okay.
Let's take you back to the 90s. How old were you?
For 99, I would have been 29.
All right. Do you think you would have picked up on it? Because I think I would have.
I don't know. I don't think I was.
Like
I wasn't that savvy. Yeah, I don't think I was that savvy.
No, I think you were. I think you were
too. Yeah, you would.
I mean, maybe.
Like, I think that's what I wanted to talk about. This movie was it didn't get released until much later.
Right.
Like, I mean, it was like a few years out. I think you would have got it, Venom.
I probably
but wasn't that the reason why it was delayed? Because there was a long delay with this movie, and I believe it
had a lot to do with Columbine.
Right. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, well, obviously, but like, obviously, though, that doesn't really matter except for like where we place this in time. Do you know what I mean?
No,
so like,
it does though.
It does. No, I know. That's what I'm saying though. So I don't know when it was filmed, but it seems like 97, 98 would be the proper time to film this.
Yeah, but then we didn't get it until like early odds.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you think, Venom?
Yeah, honestly, I mean, it's so hard for me to try to speculate what I would have thought of something 27 years ago.
You were surprised though.
On this first time watch in 2026, yes, I was surprised.
That's
it's not necessarily the sexual activity, it's not necessarily the gore or the kills. It was just the basic premise of this story. The fact that we had a killer who was targeting virgins. That's original. That's not something that we've seen before.
I get it, but at the same time, like, I mean, we're in the generation that does know, Angela, from sleepaway camp. Like, does that not seem obvious? Like, that's where I was at when I seen this for the first time.
I wasn't really thinking about sleepaway camp, but like I said, I try to go on the journey that the director sets forth for me when I watch a movie. I try not to read into it too much. I try really hard not to figure things out, but with this movie, it was
how can you not
a little heavy-handed.
Do you not like whodunits?
I love whodunits. I just said that. I actually like 90s whodunit slashers. I do enjoy them.
You just said I don't like the journey.
No. I said I like to go on the journey that the director sets me on. Some people
Oh,
watch
okay. I'm
movies.
sorry. I heard
Yeah,
that
yeah,
wrong.
yeah.
I'm so sorry. I'm
No
so
worries,
sorry.
no
I heard that
worries.
wrong.
Yeah, some people like to try to figure out their movies. I don't. I want to just watch it. I want to watch the presentation that the director put together for me. And then when I'm done, I can think back to the film like, oh, yeah, that was obvious that, kind of tip the
Right.
hat here and
Can
there.
I ask you a question?
Mm-hmm.
What would you say is the number one movie that like tripped you up? Like, do you know what I mean by that?
Like the
It
killer, the
got
reveal
you.
of the
Like
killer was like
it
totally
got you.
shocking.
Like you're like, oh fuck, I got that wrong. For me, it was Primal Fear.
Ah.
Like, oh my god, I had no idea. Like
The Richard Gere, Ed Norton one.
Like I yes.
Okay.
Like that is
He's
the
so good in
level
that movie.
that I aspire to be. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, Ed Norton.
Like it was
his turn
like
in the cell.
Venom.
Again,
Did
yeah.
you know it was him?
God, it's been so long since the
can't
first time
say
I
it.
watched it. I'm trying to be honest. I'm just trying to think.
Yeah, no,
I
I love
think
honesty.
I did.
Derek, are you still with us?
I don't know anymore.
I'm
So
sorry.
anyway,
Were you
the
fooled
long
by
and the
head
short of it
vampire
is,
in Lost Boys?
what's that? Oh,
I said, were you fooled by the head vampire in Lost
I'm
Boys?
so sorry, you guys. I know that.
mildly, honestly. Anyway, the long and the short of it, I'll keep this short. I enjoyed the originality of the story. I thought but the reveal of the killer was a little heavy-handed. They definitely could have done a little bit. They could have changed some of the kills around in order so that it didn't tip its hat a little early. Overall, I thought it was an okay movie. Jay Moore, his acting is a little over the top once we get the reveal of who he is. It's almost like his acting style changes. Like he literally goes from like subdued school teacher to crazy
straight up
transvestite.
Angela Baker.
And much like Angela Baker, Jay Moore had a penis too. So yeah, similarities. So yeah, I'll stop it there and just say, for a first time watch, I enjoyed this. I don't know that it's anything that I'll return to. I thought Brittany Murphy was fine. I've never been the biggest Brittany Murphy fan, but I thought she was cool in this movie.
Right.
Jay Moore, like I said, a little over the top, a little heavy-handed. Otherwise, it's a solid middle of the road whodunit slasher for me.
Yeah.
What about you, Derek?
Yeah, I heard of this one back in the day. I didn't really check it out until later in life. Because it didn't really have like a good release either for a while until Scream Factory Blu-ray came out. Like I actually first watched this movie on a DVD that I imported from the UK. Weirdly enough. And it was kind of shocking because I'm a huge fan of the director's first movie, Romper Stomper, which is like this skinhead, like
that Russell Crowe one.
Yeah, he's the same director. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, when he's the skinheads and
that is a greatly underrated movie. Romper Stomper is fucking great.
I remember seeing that in the VHS store, like way.
Yeah, I mean, that's where I first saw it. I rented on VHS that movie, and then when you watch this, it's like,
what happened?
Well, because that movie's like fully like has like hardcore sex scenes and shit in it, where this one's like, you could tell like there's a lot of like hands in the cookie jar in the making of this movie,
right?
And, in that sense, where I love the premise and the idea of this movie. It's a little too like Showtime TV movie-ish with like the way that it was filmed and with the cuts of the kills themselves within it, which kind of hurts like the overall product, but I still kind of like the story of it. Like the cat, like I love Brittany Murphy, like from like movies like 8 Mile, and like I grew up watching a lot of her, like Clueless and shit like that. Fucking Jay Moore. I just know him as the guy who created. Hey, let's make the fucking small soldiers and put fucking defense chips in them.
What? Derek, nobody ever thought that but you.
Either that or he was the guy who fired Jerry Maguire.
That too.
Yeah. But fucking that's I watch a lot of chick flicks and shit because I live with fucking 3 women, you know what I mean? But yeah, fucking Michael Bean, like some of like the weird scenes with him with like he's doing like fucking like a rope like self-defense tests and stuff. Some of like the weird like dialogue that those two, Brittany Murphy and him, have in the movie is kind of weird, but it kind of makes a little bit more sense as you get the kind of like the reveal of he's kind of like one of the catalysts of like this whole fucking event, which and then you got like this weird like sex orgy scene where like the only one that gets laid is DJ Qualls. Go figure.
Yeah, he goes right for it.
He had to.
Wait, before we even get to the orgy scene, what about the weird foot scene with Brittany Murphy when she's trying to get with her boyfriend? And
yeah, the guy from fucking Revenge. Or
All right, guys, I'm out. Bye.
Wow.
She's out of what? Her mind? Get back here, Lacy. Brittany Murphy and her foot become famous in that scene.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I remember this movie hearing a lot about it before like it was ever actually available to be watched. Maybe a lot of it had to do with like production hell or just they didn't know how to market it. And when I finally saw it, I did think it was like an interesting kind of flip on like the usual trope of like who slasher villains usually are going after. The fact that it takes place like going after like an entire high school of kids almost made it a little like goofy in nature. Whereas like if it would have been like more of a setup with like a few close friends taking out the virgins in the group, but overall I thought it was like a pretty entertaining. And I by this time we're like what a good 20-25 years into the slasher genre, so it was kind of cool to see when they would go outside the usual format and structure and kind of play with the idea of like of a killer. And that is pretty, we got a pretty dark ass backstory when we find out why everything is happening.
Yeah, the backstory.
Yeah, that was rough. Absolutely.
So what else we got on Cherry Falls? Anything?
I mean, Cherry Falls isn't the most complicated film, so there's not really a whole lot under the surface to kind of look at. Like I said, the role reversal of going after virgins was pretty original. I actually did like the concept of the orgy, the sex party. I thought that was, and the fact that so many parents were on board for it, I thought was interesting. The whole time, though, what's funny is that I'm watching the movie and everybody in that school is at least mildly attractive. Like, where are all like the fat losers that couldn't get a date to save their life? Like, where's the scene of Jay Moore killing like the fat kid?
Yeah.
That's the virgin he should have been going after.
It was a virgin necessity. That sounded stupid. Like, I love you guys so much. I might have to tap out, but I love you guys so much. You know how much I love you guys?
Yes. The answer is yes.
So much from what I hear.
So much. I tried to tap out a minute ago, but apparently I did not have it on recording. Well, I mean, we've been talking for a minute, right?
Yeah, plus we're kind of at the end anyway.
All right. Do you have anything you would like me to ask me before I dip?
Yes. What are you doing podcast wise right now? I know Cut to the Chase has been back sporadically. Hey, it's a Brittany
Mm.
Murphy thing. You remember sporadically? Try not to do it sporadically.
Oh, you dick.
What's
Okay.
going on? Is Cut to the
SPM
Chase?
world, right? That's
Well,
what everybody wants to know. Slumber Party Massacre, right?
sure.
No, nobody cares about that.
Do you have an update?
I don't. I love my SPM girls. I will always love them. We're going through things in life and we'll get together when we get together.
To be determined.
It will come back. It's just not right now. So please stop asking because you know what? We got
You
shit
brought it
going
up,
on.
Lacey. Okay. Well, okay.
Well, no,
So
you ask me every day at work. Go fuck yourself.
not every day. Hey, so
Well, not every. Okay.
as far as Cut to the Chase, is it kind of just on like a when you guys feel like doing it, which makes sense?
I'll leave that to Dan, and I'm gonna bow out. I love you, Derek. I love you, Venom. Mwah!
No, we're not really recording right now. We're so in the middle of like heading to Vegas. We got so many things going on. We're trying to save up for some new equipment, some podcast equipment, because we want to do some video stuff. So that's kind of where we're at right now. If there's something that like comes out though that like we have to podcast on, we'll hit it. You know what I mean? But mostly we're just kind of laying back right now and waiting to upgrade all our bullshit equipment. We need new microphones. We need new everything. We don't. When I say need, we don't need, but we want to do it right. We want to do it big and get a really good setup and stuff. So technically, I think we're probably about 32% of the way. So that's kind of what we're doing now, and 32%. And that's where we're at. So we're going to keep plugging away. And then once we get all kind of settled in, then we're going to start ripping and roaring and hopefully do some more collaborations with you guys and have some fun.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Dan, maybe you can answer for Lacey. Does she like Cherry Falls?
Yeah, like she does like Cherry Falls, and it's just one of those wild movies. Yeah, it's
Hey, you know what? I can answer for myself. That's fine.
Welcome back. What do you think of Cherry Falls, Lacey?
I'll let Dan answer it for me. No, that's fine. I'll answer for myself. Yeah, no, this movie is ridiculous. I think it's a good time. It's not a great time.
What'd you think on kind of like the flipping of the head of like the slasher villain's motivation?
I think my whole thing was, which was I was trying to prove a point tonight, was that this does not have any effect on Scream in itself, which was one of the films that is equated to that, right? To where they say that there were so many bad films that came after Scream. Yes, this is a bad film. It is a bad film. It's horrible. Like she's literally making out with her mom, she's making out with her dad, like whatever. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I would say any whodunit slasher post Scream probably gets attached either fairly
But
or
like this
unfairly.
is like I don't think it's okay to like you can't just piggyback off of something and then say that the film that you're piggybacking off of because you're piggybacking off of it is bad.
Yeah, I don't think it's necessarily bad. I mean, we wouldn't have 90% of the slasher movies we have if we thought that was a bad thing.
Well, but that's what this is, and that's what I wanted to do this for.
Well, mission accomplished. You did it.
I love it.
Victory.
Dan just shut the door. He's like, "Fuck you, Lacy Lou." All right, you
Well,
guys can say something.
yeah.
Like anything, everything.
I mean, if that ends our thoughts on Cherry Falls, that's pretty much the end of the show. And you guys got to talk about like Cut to the Chase, kind of what's going on with that. Anything else in the works coming, Lacey?
I think she left.
That would be a no. There'd be nothing else in the works. So how would we like to wrap up the episode, guys?
It's been a journey.
Venom, what do you have? Do you have anything besides fresh cuts? Oh, creature comforts, I bet.
I mean, episode 46 of Creature Comforts is currently available, where we looked at Godzilla Final Wars. That was our most recent episode. We already have our next movie picked out. We were going to record today, actually, but we decided to do the main show instead just to get this one out. So hopefully, we don't have a repeat of last month where I put the episode out a little late, but we will be having what do you call it? There definitely is an episode 47 coming in February. I believe we already picked the movie. It's going to be the giant behemoth from the 50s. So look out for that one. And unfortunately, I don't have any other guest spots to really speak of. I've just been working like crazy. My 56-hour work weeks are starting to catch up to me. So other than that,
brutal, right, man?
It gets bad. Yeah. Well, yeah, Derek knows. Yeah, we're in the same boat.
Especially with physical work, God.
Yeah, lifting up heavy shit, wearing.
I actually might call
braces.
out tomorrow because it's supposed to get 20 inches of snow.
Oh wow! I was thinking of calling off because we're supposed to get 7 pallets of product at work that I'm gonna have to sift through and stock and everything.
Plus, who the fuck wants to go there and fucking, because no one's gonna be fucking there. They're a fucking northeast.
Yeah, exactly. So like I said, life is keeping me busy more than podcasting is. So unfortunately, hopefully that'll change as the season changes. Once it gets warmer and I can actually get out of the house more often, maybe that'll give me a little bit more podcasting time, or it could have the opposite effect. Who knows? But yeah, nothing else to really speak of other than fresh cuts and creature comforts for me.
What about you, Derek?
Nothing, but I also want to say I did like Idle Hands because I didn't even get to really talk during the review.
I barely. I had a laundry list of things I wanted to talk about with Idle Hands, but I don't think any of it's going to be that vital to hear. It was just going to be more reasons why I didn't like it. So better to cut it off short.
Wait, you didn't have a longer list of how it related to Scream?
Not at all. Not at all.
As far as I go, just just fresh cuts, the main show. Now, I do have a potential upcoming guest spot on 22 Shots. They're doing the part 2 of the Scream franchise retro because I was on part 1. So if I end up being on it, it will probably be released about the same time this is released, and our Scream 7 Fresh Cuts episode is released all in the next kind of week and a half.
You're gonna be all screamed off.
Oh man, I mean, I don't mind. Like, it's more about rewatching 5 and 6 because 7 I was gonna watch anyway because we're doing it for Fresh Cuts, but we'll see. Like I think I don't know if anyone's heard like the first retro, I was pretty kind to the franchise as a whole. I mean, on that episode, pretty favorable to it, other than 3, which I do think is like the low point, at least of the original bunch. But depending on how 7 turns out, I probably won't be as kind, even though I still don't say I hate any of them. But yeah, I mean, we'll see. It'll be an interesting conversation nonetheless.
It's too bad they're gone. I was going to ask if they had any predictions for Scream 7 because I have one.
For another show, I guess.
Hopefully.
Now, as far as our show, like this one, since we had guests, and
they were my picks.
Back to you, Derek. Okay.
Yeah, and actually, it's going to be another listener request.
Okay, so they're locked in already. Do you want to reveal them?
We're going to be doing for our listener friend Nicole, who always comments on our podcast and all our podcasts, actually. Planet of the Vampires and from Mario Bava, and we're also going to be doing Life Force from Toby Hooper. We're going to Space Vampires.
Naked Matilda May. Yes.
Space Vampires.
Space Vampires. Nice.
Are there vampires in that movie? I don't see anything past Matilda May's body.
Yeah, well,
I
I
guess I'll
mean,
look out for the vampires on this watch, I guess.
yeah, Nicole has been kind of a mainstay as far as like always listening and giving feedback. So totally down to do her picks. Hell, I would because I know I think she was on a recent episode of Land of the Creeps. I would say, we could always reach out and see if she wants to be on the episode. As long as it
Yeah.
doesn't take 2-3 months to like figure out like this one did, I'm cool with it. If she has the availability, I don't know.
Yeah, that's who. We'll ask.
Cool. Well, that is going to wrap up a kind of chaotic episode of No More Room in Hell.
This is like a long journey in hell, man.
Yeah, so we are going to rightfully descend back into the lake of fire until next time. So let's go ahead and say bye to our listeners.
Look at me, I'm in the face.
Rest in peace, Brittany Murphy.
Peace.